Man. I'm joined once again by my good friend Reignofcows.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I am doing fantastic. I'm a little tired, but we're making it through. You know how it goes.
Yeah, same. So tonight we are gonna do something similar to what we did however long ago that was. I guess like a month.
Probably like a month or so ago. Maybe
Yeah,
two. Might be getting close to there.
something like that. When we talked about the most recent Mortal Kombat 2 movie. Had a good old time. And hopefully we'll do the same thing today. Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yes, sir.
So we're just gonna talk about, obviously talk about the movie, what we thought, what we felt, when we laughed, when we cried.
How we
Um,
cried.
and we're gonna,
Continue.
I certainly did. Both times I saw it. I saw it twice. Um, we're
Mm.
gonna get a little bit into just where we were with Spider-Man movies as a whole before this came out, and where we're at now, if that changed, if it didn't, why, and all of that. And we'll get into it. Uh, do you wanna start us off with the thoughts?
Uh, sure. So I grew up.
Oh, first off, by the
Oh, go
way,
ahead. Go
I just
ahead. Go
want to
ahead.
say I just want your new setup. This is the first time I've seen it.
Oh,
It's looking real clean.
thank you.
Real
Thank you. I
clean.
tried. I tried my hardest to make it look pretty. I need to do some more, but it's coming together. So,
You know, it's
um,
looking good, brother.
I appreciate you, King. But in terms of Spider-Man movies, okay. So I've always been a deep loving fan of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. That's always been like my up there one just because of
My up
like him being suffering through and it's honestly like you see he's Peter Parker kind of living that crappy life we all love to see Peter live in. We have an amazing
People do
villain.
love to see a miserable Peter
A
Parker.
and that's the best part is because like, it captures it, like, perfectly, and the villain is amazing, and all the acting's good. You have Harry Osborn in there actually, playing a pretty significant part. Like, his friend is actually, like it's leading up to stuff, like, stuff is building up. So it's, like, really good. So Spider-Man 2 has always been, like, my definitive number 1 movie, which I feel like is, like, pretty basic answer, and it might even just come from nostalgia. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people say it's nothing but nostalgia, but, like, I just genuinely feel like it's one of the true Spider-Man movies that fully captures all of it. Um,
Yeah.
and in terms of the Tom Holland movies, I guess I should talk about that specifically. Too is I've loved Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland is a fantastic Spider-Man. I think as a whole, he is the perfect representation of Spider-Man because like he's got Peter Parker down plus Spider-Man down. Like, he's got both sides of the coin down, and so I feel like he did really good, and so, like, the 3 movies prior to this one, I think were pretty good. The second one kinda but the first one was really good, and I really, really enjoyed the third one. Um, but yeah, I think Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Peter Parker is just fantastic.
Yeah. No, I've been real back and forth. So like I'm I grew up I'm at that age, right, where I kind of grew up with all three Spider-Man, you know?
Mm,
So like when the first Spider-Man came out, 4. So, and that was one of the first movies I got to see in the movie theater. I remember my mom taking me, and I was in a Spider-Man costume, and there was a guy at the mall, who was dressed as Spider-Man taking pictures with people, and like to 4-year-old me, that was literally Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's at the mall right now. I have vivid memories of that. And then, The Amazing Spider-Man, those movies, Andrew Garfield's movies, were coming out like right as I started high school. The first one came out, I was 15 and was starting freshman year of high school. So that was like that really did a lot to shape, you know, how I viewed the world and just how I carried myself. And then obviously Tom Holland's Spider-Man showed up in Civil War. Uh, Homecoming came out like that summer after I graduated high school. So it's like I'm looking at this as, somebody who just got past where that was. Like as a little kid watching Tobey's Spider-Man, I'm like, wow, um this is what life like. And then with the Amazing Spider-Man, it was like, wow, this is what life looks like right now.
Yeah.
And then with, Man, it was this is what my life just got done looking like. So it was like kind of nostalgic in a way.
Mm.
Um even though it was new. It was like a new nostalgia, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Um but like and then when No Way Home came out, that came out, less my
Yeah.
oldest my oldest was born. And then here we are with Brand New Day. And that kid who was born, right before No Way Home is starting kindergarten. Like started kindergarten the day after I saw Brand New Day. So it's like I'm still growing up with Spider-Man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just so I have a very special attachment to all of them. But none of them are my favorite. My favorite is Into the Spider-Verse. And my favorite Spider-Man is the janky old broke hobo Spider-Man. So
See, that's understandable. That's understandable. So
but I just like Spider-Man,
the Spider-Man is a cool guy. He is pretty cool. I think a lot of people could say they mainly like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man is pretty cool.
Spider-Man real cool.
But I mean, shoot, I think the thing about this movie coming out was with Tom Holland's movies. I know this was kind of a big thing, is that all of his movies before this one were him fighting major threats. And it was never Spider-Man on a friendly neighborhood level, it seemed like. It always seemed kind of blown up. And I think that's mainly because, him being with the Avengers, his like a majority of his time being Spider-Man and going into space and fighting, aliens and different stuff like that is kind of like, you couldn't dodge it. And so going into this movie, everybody was seeing like, hey, we're getting a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, yes, like Spider-Man still on a neighborhood level still had like crazy threats, like that were pretty powerful, but it still stayed, relatively like in, you know what I mean? Like kind of like that area. And so that was like my most looked
I
forward
would
to
say that,
thing. Go ahead.
yeah. I would say that Homecoming, because in Homecoming, like he's in Queens the whole time, and he's fighting the Vulture, who is just an arms dealer. So like that's pretty friendly neighborhood. But you're right. After that, he definitely graduates to like because then he's going to Europe, and then the multiverse is falling apart.
And
And between that, he's going to space and fighting Thanos and Dusted for
my biggest thing about Homecoming,
and then his first appearance.
Yeah, that is true. But my biggest thing about Homecoming is he's not going really to fight like anything crazy big, but he's got Tony Stark there along the way to make it big. And I know that was like people's biggest thing for like the first two movies is kind of like riding along Peter and Tony's relationship. Like it was like super focused on that, which I didn't think was bad. I didn't think it was terrible. It kind of made a lot of sense. And so, but it just kind of felt like it kind of drug along. And so for me going into this movie, I was really excited for it to be a Spider-Man movie focused on Spider-Man getting to his roots, doing stuff like that, getting back to being like, Spider-Man and stuff. And so I feel like it's time for us to step into the movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
Um,
I think last
what
time we did for Mortal Kombat, we said did we say our ratings before or after?
I think we went into why.
I think we said
Like we started where we were at, and then we.
I thought we said like, hey, this is about where we're at. We talked about it, and then we gave like a final like, hey, this, like we changed our mind, or was that not what we did?
Maybe I don't know. I think what we did was we started with giving it a rating and our general thoughts, and then we did like the non spoilers, and then we went into spoilers. And I think by the end, both of us kind of had our minds changed about some stuff a little bit. Um,
So, so I guess we
I
we
don't know.
s- we start off getting it out of 10 a rating. I'll let you go first for this one.
Okay. For me, and I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
It actually went up after the second viewing. On it for the past week. Um, Out of 10, I'm going a 9. Man, I love this movie.
Really?
It's like, yeah, like I feel this movie made the same way for Spider-Man that the Batman and Superman from last year made me feel about their respective characters. Like we're finally like we're here. Like this is it. This is what Spider-Man looks like to me. Still not my favorite. I still think that both Spider-Verse movies are better, but
So I kind of put this around, I would say probably around, realistically, probably closer to an 8, but like a 7.5. And it's to me, it's not even the Spider-Man aspect, it's the story. It's the Spider-Man story. I think this is like the perfect Spider-Man, but not the best Spider-Man story, in my opinion. And so yeah.
I can definitely see where you're coming from. I'm really excited to get into this.
So let's start off with non-spoilers. I gotta think, like, tread carefully. I'm thinking about the trailer. Okay, so I'm thinking about the trailer and what the trailer shows and tells. And so like
Yeah.
from just like that, without going like too deep, I think the best parts, or like on the good side, we can talk about Peter Parker actually like struggling. And
Yeah.
he's not like fully struggling. Like he still has like a 3D printer that's like it's still got a bunch of tech, and
Yeah.
like he still has all that, but he's fucking in like a rundown, apartment, he's really
Yeah. He's
depressed,
he's living in the attic of his apartment building.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not living the best life, and he's like, you're seeing him kind of struggle, and it's more
You're
relatable.
eating Little Caesars on the regular.
Yeah, exactly. Like I stopped at Taco Bell probably like every other day, Like it's too relatable, and you're like, damn, okay, I feel this, you know. And so it's nice to see that aspect of him coming into play because like that's what makes Spider-Man so good in the comics is because like a lot of his stuff is like, hey, this like Spider-Man is relatable. You can see yourself in Spider-Man. Like, that's why people love him so much. And so that's like the best thing you see. I would say honestly throughout this entire movie, without like going too crazy into detail yet. Like the entire movie, I feel like
Yeah.
captures him being a human being and like actually having like struggles and pushing through them struggles and having to live with it and like do all this other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think that a lot of the other elements, you know, most of which we won't go into, but like for example, well, yet until we get to spoilers. But like for example, like the Punisher, like everybody knows he's in the movie. He's in
Yeah.
all the trailers.
Yeah.
Like, not even to talk about like the dynamic between the two, which is pitch perfect, if you ask
Mhm.
me. But just what the Punisher represents like thematically for Peter Parker's story. Um and they even talk about it like overtly in the movie, but it's basically like it's like the extreme end of the path that Peter is on, right?
Yeah.
And every character in the movie plays a similar part to that, as a representation of Peter's journey, and that's something that I really love about this movie. I have a visitor.
You can jump to your next one too because I started off that one. So
Yeah. Um, so like, I think that like just to get the surface level stuff out of the way, like visually,
oh,
this I think the only Spider-Man movie that beats this one from a visual standpoint, and I think it's really close, and I don't even think the aspect is the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because like, and you remember we saw the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in theaters together.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
saw it at the same time. Like that movie, like when that came out, that's what Spider-Man looked like. Like that was, if Spider-Man was real, he looked like that.
Yeah.
Um and it's like just the swinging and the action and the way that it was all shot, like when he's fighting Electro, all of that looked just so perfect. And this movie, Brand New Day, like it meets that, and in some ways exceeds it. Like the suit is fucking
It
sorry,
is.
just
It does look very pretty.
it's so good. Like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm looking over at my brother who was there with me, like, we're like, this is a documentary about Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's real. Like he's right there. Like,
This should actually happen in New York. The Knicks just
yes,
won, and this is
exactly.
what's going on.
Yeah, it's like that's what it felt like though. It was so like it was grounded in that way, not
Yeah.
necessarily in the it felt like it was things that could actually happen in real life, but it felt like it could, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like it feels super nice because like Spider-Man feels relatable in this and like all of the aspects for the most part until you get to like the
Right.
main antagonist level. You know what I mean? But like a lot of it's like stuff that's going on. Like a lot of it's based off technology and stuff. And they show a lot of the tech, they kind of
Yeah.
build around it. They explain stuff. And so like it's really cool to see and hear uh about all this stuff. And it looks just so pretty, dude. All the movement.
It
Um
does.
a
Now
lot
there's
of
one
the
shot
go ahead, go ahead.
that there's one shot toward the like at the end that I'm not gonna talk about yet, but it's just that shot, and you might know what I'm talking about. Where it's like one of the last shots in the movie, and it's like it's just beautiful. It's like when I think of this movie, that's the shot that pops in my head. And we'll talk about it later, but it's just God, This is one of the best looking MCU movies I think we've ever gotten.
Oh yeah,
Like
most definitely.
if not the best, it's up there.
So I think what makes this movie super good too is the choreography for the fights
Yes, dude.
is fucking
It's
fantastic.
so good.
A lot of it looks like you're playing the PS5 Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure I saw a thing where they actually took some moves from the game and
Mhm.
put it in the
They
movie.
definitely did. The whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, "Oh."
I've
It's
done
like
that before. I've done that.
the Leonardo DiCaprio meme that
Yeah. But like that's the cool part about it is because like
um
the director did amazing in terms of that. Like he did it like fantastic. Every scene where there's
yeah, and
action was just so good.
he also did yeah, and he also did Shang-Chi. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw that, but
that's a
the
great.
action in
I like
that
that movie
was
a lot.
yeah, the choreography in
Oh,
that was so good. Like, that was, um that was another one of the highlights, was just the action was some of the again, some of the best that we've ever seen, like, approaching The Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, really both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, just the way that Spider-Man fought in those movies, like, when he's fighting the lizard in the school,
and he's
and
like
he's
an actual
crawling over
spider
him.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
yeah. They did a lot of cool
It
stuff, and I think they
yeah,
really like kind of shown too how much Peter's kind of moved up and kind of like gotten more used to it and stuff. And like you can definitely see improvement, which I think is
gentleman.
really fucking cool.
Yeah, and it's like it makes sense because this Peter Parker, like, by the time we pick up, like, after after the montage stuff, it's been 4 years since the end of No Way Home,
Yeah,
right? And by the end of No Way Home, apart from not including the 5 years that he was blipped,
yeah,
he's been Spider-Man for by the end of No Way Home, he's been Spider-Man for, like, 2.5 years, almost 3 years,
yeah, something like that.
and then plus the 4 years after No Way Home, so he's been I mean, it's been, like, 7, 8 years that he's been Spider-Man,
Yep.
right? So, like, it makes sense that he's, like, you know, he's coming to his own. He can do this without help. He knows what he's doing, and he is, like, the quintessential Spider-Man. Um, and they really make a point to show that, and I really appreciated that because
Yeah,
he's not that nervous, kind of bumbling kid anymore most of the
yeah,
time. Like, when he's doing his job, he's doing it, like, efficiently. Like, the way he moves is so different from how it used to be.
yeah. I think the one thing like we kind of touched on a little, and we've really focused on Spider-Man for it, which I mean, obviously it's his movie, but like the costume, the costumes. Let me
Yeah,
specify that because
all of them, but
Spider-Man only gets one
especially his.
costume, but
Yeah.
Spider-Man's costume is so pretty.
Oh,
The colors
I hope.
for me at first was kind of a little weird because it's so comic book accurate and looks so good,
Yeah,
and it's on screen, so it's like it's a little weird to see because it looks like one of those like fan casts because it looks so good, like it
yeah.
looks that good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I hope they never change it.
Oh,
And,
they're going to.
like,
They're going to.
it has the creases and the folds, and it wrinkles and ripples when he's moving. Oh my god, man. It's so good looking.
And I wouldn't say there's like a lot of costume designs other than Punisher fucking looks fantastic. He's got the
Yeah,
cool little military
yeah.
gear, got the like
It's like
it's too hard not to mess
yeah.
up.
They nailed him pretty much from word go. Like, in
Yeah, that's what
Daredevil,
I was saying. Um,
and they've changed very little.
yeah.
Oh,
The only the
fantastic too.
Scorpion
Yeah. I
is
I was real I wouldn't have minded a little more of him in the
oh, me
movie,
too.
but I'm so glad that we finally got him. Like, because they teased him in all the way back in Homecoming.
Yeah, exactly.
and then we finally get him in this, and Michael Mando is just phenomenal as always.
I thought he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Great.
I'm trying to think. Without spoiling, where can we dip our toes?
I
Because
mean, we know that like the hand, they're in all the trailers and posters. It was really cool seeing them actually be ninjas, because in Daredevil, I mean, they have, you know, they kind of look like ninjas, but they're not wearing the bright red like ninja outfits like they
yeah,
are in the movie. Yeah, I appreciated that.
yeah,
Um, like I said, Hulk looked fantastic. That's the best he's looked
I
since the
was happy. I was happy to see Hulk again.
yeah.
That was cool. That was really fun.
Um,
And I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
and
because like,
the villains in that montage at the beginning, like you had Tombstone,
but
who was the
people
same guy who
people
voiced
don't even
him.
know that part. So now we're getting into now we're dipping our toes.
He's in the trailer. He's in the trailer very
Is he?
briefly, but
Is
yeah, he's
he?
in there. Yeah, yeah, he's in there very briefly,
Look.
but he's there.
I feel like this is a pretty part for us to segment into the spoilers because
Yeah,
realistically, without talking about this, because most people have a good idea of who Sadie Sink plays, but a lot of
yeah,
people don't have that
yeah,
confirmed. People do not have that
yeah,
confirmed for them and who she's actually playing. So
yeah. So if you're watching,
this is
spoilers right
spoilers.
now.
If you're
Spoiler
listening, you're watching, whatever. This is
alert.
it. This is it. This is where the spoilers begin. That whole beginning portion. Non-spoilers. I feel like everything touched there was pretty obvious. It was in the trailer. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
everything in trailers,
We
posters.
told you how good the movie is. Go watch it. I feel like we
Yes.
can say that. We are touching on spoilers now.
Go add to the week, and it's made in a week, which is insane. Less
Oh,
than a
dude,
week. It made it in 2 days.
the amount of money it made back is fucking insane, and it's. I mean, it
Dude,
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man has literally never no film that had Spider-Man in it has ever failed. Not one. Not a single one. And the 4 highest all have Spider-Man in them. Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be specific. So it's like um but yeah, and it's just the fact like that doesn't happen anymore. And
Yeah.
the Thursday previews, like we went and me and my group, we went and saw it on Thursday. So like the preview day before it officially released.
Mm-hmm.
That day, less than 24 hours, it made it was like 3.5 million, or not 3.5, like 360 some odd million in less than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild in today's landscape. Like that does not happen. The
Yeah.
last movie that made 1 billion was Michael earlier this year, and that took 12 weeks. It was in theaters for 12 weeks before it hit 1 billion.
It's a great
And
movie. Go watch
this
it.
movie did it in 3 days.
It's we can both agree right here, right now. It is a good enough movie to go watch in theaters and
Oh yeah,
enjoy. If you
100%.
can, go find it in IMAX, do all that good stuff.
Yeah, watch it in the theater if you can. It is so good. Spoilers. Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's get it out of the way because we're gonna be like it's
Yeah, we're gonna be dipping in and out. Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey, which the internet guessed that like a year and a half
yeah,
ago.
I mean, it makes
Um,
sense,
I didn't think that it would be Jean personally. I thought it was gonna be my theory was that it was gonna be I'm blanking on her name now. Uh Punisher's sidekick that he had for a while there, back in like the mid 2010s, I think. She was a cop. Her husband got killed and stuff, and she was like out for vengeance, and he took her under her wing. She was a redhead. Um So I was thinking like she's gonna be Punisher's sidekick. I was very wrong.
Well,
Clearly.
you were wrong.
Um, and honestly, I'm glad because I personally really like what they did with her in this, and we can get into that when we get to it. But um, I really like the way that she was portrayed and what she's setting up, especially now that we have all these castings coming out for the X-Men. I don't know if you're seeing them or not,
Yeah,
but
I've seen a lot of them.
I think we've got what four castings, not including Sadie at this point.
Yeah, something like that. 4 or 5,
Um,
whatever it is.
yeah, whatever it is, but like, so it's we're really getting into it now. Like, they're coming. We're
They're
getting more.
coming. It's and
They're
shoot, maybe
coming.
me too. I don't know. Cause like shit, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, crazy. And I love that they're doing like a younger cast too, because like
Finally.
canonically, the X-Men,
It's
like when
fun.
they
Yeah.
first showed up back in the 60s, they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Like they were contemporaries with Spider-Man, like maybe a little older.
Yeah.
Um so now, but like I'm cool with that. I'm really excited about that. And most of the castings that we have right now are the original 5 X-Men, or some
Hmm.
of them. So like we have Jean, obviously, Cyclops, Beast, uh Rogue, and Emma Frost. So like that's 3 of the original 5 X-Men. Um but anyway, we're not talking about X-Men. We're here to talk. Um
I feel like to me it was fairly obvious that she was gonna play Jean Grey. I just didn't think they were gonna have her play Jean Grey like they did. I feel like they were teasing it a lot, and I felt like it was gonna be a lead up, which it kind of was. It basically was, you know, it was kind of like a, hey, they're leading you to think like she's super evil, like she fucking is
yeah.
the entire all that stuff. But like, I also didn't expect them to do what they did with their powers,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
which
see, and that was like the fact that they made uh really threw me for a loop
yeah,
in a good way for me personally. So like I'm for when a superhero story involves fighting somebody else's villain, or even if it's not necessarily another villain, like it's just somebody who's not,
yeah,
like one of the things I really liked about the most recent Captain America, which that movie disappointed me pretty heavily. But one of my favorite things was that like he's the villain is the leader. Like it's Hulk stuff,
yeah,
and Cap has to deal with Hulk stuff. I thought that was cool. Like that's just something I'm a sucker for. Um, like one of my favorite Daredevil stories, the main villain of that is Fury. Uh, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people. That's one about this movie online is Jean and how she was handled, and the fact that she was the villain and not an actual Spider-Man villain.
yeah,
And I get that, but like these movies have these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have always done things that we haven't seen in Spider-Man movies before, like in Toby or Andrew's movies. Because like in their movies, it's always typical fighting Spider-Man villains in New York, like in Manhattan. And like
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. That's what Spider-Man's supposed to be. But Spider-Man is also like he's the Marvel Universe's everyman, right? Like there was
yeah,
the Marvel Team Up comic. Like there was a whole comic series about Spider-Man teaming up with other Marvel characters. And that was kind of how you got little little tidbits here and there about, about the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And like Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man #1 is Peter going for kicking their ass and asking them for a job. Like #1
Yeah.
back in 62. So like that has been Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the Marvel Universe's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like that's the one we get to see him do things that we have never seen before. And that's always been one of the biggest draws for me. And one of the things that this movie's in particular is because this felt like the most Marvel Universe New York, I think, ever that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's Peter's going to fight this tank, and then the Punisher, because they're working the same beat. Of course he would, right?
Mm.
Like he knows the Punisher, and we have Damage Control, and they've been all throughout the MCU since Homecoming. They were introduced in Homecoming, and they were like antagonists in Miss Marvel and in Wonder Man. For those of you that have seen those things, and then obviously Jean being introduced here, which is cool. And then Hulk being such a big part of it. Bruce Banner kind of being the tipping point to the whole to the plot at large, really.
Yeah.
With the inhibitor thing. This just felt like the most Marvel Universe movie while simultaneously being the most Spider-Man, and that's what I loved. That's one of the many things I love so much about it. It's the same in the same way that Superman felt like the Metropolis in last year's Superman was like, this is the DC Universe's Metropolis. Like this is just a place where these things happen. Like these
Yeah.
other characters, these other heroes all just inhabit this world. And we might be focusing on Superman, but this is still a larger world,
Yeah.
right? And this movie felt like that, but for Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, so to section it off, because I think we talk plot wise. So we pick up with Peter 4 years after he gets everybody to forget about Peter Parker. And like you're talking about and mentioning, which I feel like we can go through all the people. It is a little montage from then until now, and it shows like a couple of the villains. It shows like Tombstone and Scorpion, uh, Boomerang,
Tarantula,
yeah,
Ramrod,
yeah. I forgot about Ramrod, but it shows all these people. I feel like the biggest part about
and
that,
recreating comic cover.
yeah, it does recreate a bunch of like the comic covers and stuff, and it's super cool to see. But I feel like my biggest issue with it is they're there and gone. The only one that comes back later is Scorpion, and we'll touch on him later too, because like I think that was another missed opportunity. But like,
Yeah,
it picks up on Peter being depressed and stuff still. And on Peter's side, he's still like he's stalking MJ and Ned. Like
yeah.
at the
Talking
end of the day,
one-
he's literally he's stalking them because he doesn't want to actually talk to them and tell them the truth or talk to them at all, really, and just try and become friends with them
yeah,
again. And so he's just like being a creeper, doing all that. But on the Spider-Man side, he's fucking killing it, dude. He's killing it.
yeah.
Like he's literally working with the police force, not like directly, but like he's working with the Detective
Right. Like,
Wolf pretty freaking
yeah,
directly.
yeah, in the same capacity as like Batman does with Commissioner
Yeah, exactly.
Ow, cat, stop biting me. She's over
Like,
here chewing on my fingers.
always gonna attack. Didn't even talk about Spider-Man, like, bro. It's no, but it's so cool to see because, like, in terms of Spider-Man, he's kind of up there. I mean, to be honest
Yeah,
with you,
no,
like,
you knew that.
he's
Yeah, it's kinda
happy.
like yeah, it's kinda like the opposite of Spider-Man 2, right? Because Spider-Man 2 was like Spider-Man no more
Yeah.
and focusing purely on Peter Parker.
Yep.
And it's kind of the same basic message is like that integration of all aspects of your life, right? Where
Mhm.
in Spider-Man 2, he's losing his powers because he can't come to terms with what being Spider-Man takes, like the toll that it takes on being Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And Tom has already learned Peter Parker by this point in Brand New Day has already learned that lesson via um uh Far From Home and No Way Home with Mysterio outing him and
Yep.
what it took to try to reverse that and then to fix the mistakes made with the spell and everything.
Yep.
And so now he's Peter Parker no more. Like he's all Spider-Man all the time. He's purely focused on being Spider-Man
Yep.
as much as possible with very little besides that, right? Like it seems like the only thing he does outside of being Spider-Man is going and getting flowers from May's grave every week or however often it is.
Yeah.
Um and I like that this movie had a lot of not just like narrative and thematic callbacks, but a lot of like visual callbacks too. It was very much a product of past Spider-Man projects in a lot in some ways even more than No Way Home,
Yeah.
because this is like it's not just it's taking it's taking like themes and elements as opposed to like literally plucking those characters and
And
putting them
putting
in
them directly in your face.
right. And which I love No Way Home, don't get me wrong, but this does it in a much more uh elegant way, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
um subtle way in some
Yeah.
ways. And I really appreciated that. There's just a lot of good stuff in
Yeah. I mean, because, like, realistically, that's mainly, like, the whole, like, vibe of the movie until Jean Grey finally shows up is, like, he's just being Spider-Man, like, he's just chilling, stops this villain here, stops this villain there. Like you said, goes, gets flowers from A, looks on his phone every now and then. But, like,
apparently
he
saving Frank's life on Staten Island,
yeah, yeah, I guess that
which
happened.
which comes up a lot.
But, like, until he runs into Jean Grey, he's like that's literally the like, the beginning portion of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like he finally runs into Jean Grey, and around that time, I think it's, like, the next day or that night or whatever it is whenever he goes to the party, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it's like he's looking for so there's the scene with the tank and
Yep,
he's trying to figure out what's going on there. And then cuz he still doesn't know who is behind it all.
yeah,
And then he goes to see Yelena, who
yep, I forgot about her.
I was really happy to see her. I love Yelena. And her scenes in this were really funny.
They were pretty fun. It was kind of weird, but yeah, they were pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely weird, but she's a weird person.
She
Like
is very weird.
every time she shows up in something, she's doing some weird shit, like the macaroni scene in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Um, but then and then he goes to damage control and talks to them.
Yeah,
And
that's what it is.
that's where we see the hand that they're working for damage control, which I want to talk about the hand. That's my one gripe about this movie, but we'll get into that later. Um, he talks to damage control. That's where he's like, oh, he learns about VMAX.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah, that's right. He
and
mentions
like,
VMAX because
yeah, and Metzger's like, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what that is. And turns out he actually doesn't know what that is,
which is pretty funny.
Yeah,
Kind of fucked up, but still pretty funny.
Yeah, really fucked up. But
which we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. And then I think he's talking to DeWolf on the phone. He's in the shop getting flowers for May.
And that's when he sees Ned.
And
Yeah.
that's when he's Ned getting the energy drinks.
Yeah. You're right. Because he sees Ned, and very weirdly,
this is the first time he's seen Ned back in New York since he went to Boston, because they've been in school in Boston for 4 years.
But it's kind of creepy because Peter follows him.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying like follows him to like where they're living and he just keeps walking. No, he follows him inside. He goes to these people's apartment party.
Yeah.
And tries to blend right in.
He's just being a friendly neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's so awkward and weird because no one's like, who are you, dude? Like, how did you get here? Like, why are you here? And like,
it seems like an open party, you know? It's like there's a lot of people there.
I guess because like
doors open.
For the most part, Ned and MJ are just kind of like okay with it too, because like they bring it up, like he's like, "Oh, you don't know MJ? Who are you?" And that's whenever he's like, "I'm just your neighbor," and MJ pulls the, "Oh, you're a friendly neighbor," you know. But then like the thing is, Peter's not their neighbor, so like he doesn't go back to the apartment next door or anything like that. They just kind of accept it, bro.
Yeah,
and it's very weird and creepy.
It is odd, yeah, and like I feel like it was intentionally weird though, so like I don't really have a problem with it, because it's like you want to know what's going on in your friends' lives, even if they don't know that you're their friend.
Yeah.
So like, you want to be there. You want to see what's up with them, and like I feel like this was like kind of his, because you kind of see it throughout the movie where he starts to make these attempts to kind of rekindle a bit, and then pulls back. You know.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to endanger them. So I think it was like that was kind of the back and forth for him through this whole movie, really, and that's kind of the whole theme. And it really gets touched on with some stuff with Aunt May later. But it's really all about like learning that you can't do this by yourself. And I think that like this is just a part of that process for Peter and learning that. And when you're 24, you do weird shit sometimes, you know?
That is very true. That is very true. And the worst part about it is in this scene, Peter sees that MJ has a boyfriend.
Yeah, who doesn't have a name, by the way.
Which is crazy. I was expecting it to be like, hey, this is Paul. You know, everybody was leaning towards it. Everybody was waiting for it. But he just never, it's never said, like at all.
In the credit, he's credited as the boyfriend.
And so the funny part about it, MJ like barely talks about this dude. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like MJ like does not care about this dude.
She's kind of shit talking him the only time she does talk about
yeah, exactly. Like she's just like, but like that's like But it's so Peter sees this, and obviously seeing that, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be kind of
Yeah,
like, oh shit, it's gonna
yeah.
hit.
And it led to a really intense scene after that, like a swinging scene that looked fantastic. But
Yeah, it was super cool. Him as Peter Parker swinging around in the
yeah,
rain.
and then he just like drops, and you're like, oh shit, that
That-
got dark fast.
Oh,
Like,
it's so fucking cool.
like he just lets go of the web and just falls, and then it cuts to him walking into his apartment and passing out.
And that's whenever we get to good old Cocoon.
Yeah, and it reminds me though, like that whole thing. It reminds me of Spider-Man 2 when he leaves that event that he's at, where uh MJ and uh John Jameson
Yeah.
announce they're engaged, and then he goes swinging, and that's when he starts losing his powers, right?
Yep.
So it's a reversal of Spider-Man 2, and like as somebody who's seen Spider-Man 2 about 4.8 billion times, it was quite a treat. Um, I really I just like that it's a
That.
contrast,
Yeah.
but it's also a, like complementary. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a and it's why I kind of is I'm gonna go off on a mini tangent here real quick, but it's just something I appreciate about Spider-Man particularly and Spider-Man movies is that especially with these last two, like with No Way Home and with Brand New Day, and really going back to the Amazing Spider-Man movies, they're really like they don't like they are separate series, they're separate franchises, but they feel connected, right?
Yeah.
Like with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 that felt very much like the Tobey movies, even though they were very different, like the symbol was the same. It was cut up, like segmented and elongated, but it had the same basic setup. It looked exactly the same as Tobey Maguire um, spider symbol because it was
Yeah.
the same. It was very angular. He had the triangular eyes on the mask. Um, a lot of similar story beats and themes. And then you get to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and at first it feels very separate. It's intentionally so. Like they separated those movies very heavily on purpose.
Yeah.
We just had five, Spider-Man movies that were essentially doing the same thing, and then Homecoming and Far From Home, and then the Avengers movies and Civil War, all very different, right? But still Spider-Man, but just not how we've ever seen him before. And then No Way Home is like now we're coming full circle, right? Now we're gonna bring that stuff here and kind of make it feel like this Spider-Man does. Like it's kind of a trade-off, right? So like
Mhm.
you bring Toby and Andrew into the MCU, and now they start to feel kind of like the MCU version of Peter because like they're inhabiting that and they're being written by the same writer that.
Yeah.
But then with their absence, like when they leave in Brand New Day, like it's kind of like they left behind pieces of themselves with our with Tom's Peter.
Yeah.
Like they left an imprint. And you can see it in his suit, obviously. It takes reference from the past suits, like the layout of the red and the blue, like just the patterning is almost identical to the Amazing Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
suit. And then obviously Peter gets which we're about to get into. He gets the organic webs in this one,
Yes, sir.
which we can get into now. I just wanted to touch on that, and it's gonna come back up a few times throughout the movie, but like this was where it was at its peak. I think was in this little segment here.
No,
Just
I mean,
the thematic callbacks.
I think it's cool to talk about it because I mean that's like the whole point of this movie to me is like taking what all we love and appreciate from the other movies that I've gotten to and built upon and
Yeah.
putting that into this Spider-Man and doing all that. So I mean, it works out like almost perfectly and coming back to it and like doing what all was good and right about the other movies. And what's cool to see is like, you know, a lot of us know about like the comics in where Peter has experienced stuff like this where he's dealing with like becoming the human spider or
Right.
he's got all that and that's what people were like kind of like freaked out about is like, oh shit, is this about to go like super super dark? Like is he about to
Yeah.
become like a full-on spider? Like
Yeah.
are we about to get
And,
arachnid boy or whatever?
and apparently they had that. Like that was planned, and they were like, "Nah, this is too scary. Like
and,
kids are gonna see this."
and
Like,
that's where I always kind of think is because like you see it in the trailer. Uh I think a couple of times, at least once or twice, where his eyes turn black, like they turn to
yeah,
the spider eyes or whatever. And
yeah,
like one of the first things is whenever he gets his swinging, he gets a notification. Fucking Scorpion has escaped. Oh no! So he has to go handle that shit, and he's having to deal with having organic webbing, which he's not
yeah,
used to. He's
yeah. Trying
he's
to figure out how
he's
to.
used to
Yeah,
having webbing that he can calculate and fucking zero in on making sure it's accurate and stuff.
right.
And so he's coming into having this like his webbing he's never experienced and like a whole different thing. And he pulls up on Scorpion, slamming into the walls, falling into it, stuff like
Yeah,
that. You know, and like showing like he's like there's something up with him.
yeah. And
And
also, he can't sense Gene like he could before
yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about that part too. That's a big part.
because his
It
his spider sense is on the fritz.
like whenever he was dealing with the whole tank situation, Jean is bouncing from person to person, which we saw in the
Yeah,
trailer. Like she's bouncing from one
yeah,
person to one person. That's all she can do. She can only bounce from here to here. But Peter's keeping up with her. Like Peter's like, "Oh, you're this person now. You're this person now. You're this." And Jean tries getting in his mind, can't get in his mind.
yeah.
Stuff like that. Then this fight comes up, and Jean's literally like, "Oh, you can't sense me now because
Yeah, you
Jean
think
is
of Scorpion?
Scorpion,"
Yeah,
which kind of pisses me off because it's now it's not Scorpion. Like Scorpion is not back.
yeah, yeah. Like after all of that happens, he wakes up. He's like, "What the hell?"
And like because like the thing is, so like she ends up seeing, I think this is where she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go mess with him or whatever." Starts doing something, and his
It
eyes
was a
turn
little.
black.
That was a little later, but yeah,
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
yeah. But it's brought on because like she in Scorpion's body is kind of kicking his ass because he's off kilter. He's overstimulated because he's got all this sensory input. His webs aren't working the way he needs them to,
Yep.
and then she's got him pinned down. And
Oh,
then
it's so
the arachnid hormones spike, and his eyes go black, and then he just like starts putting belt to ass, and
Oh,
it's
dude, it's so
crazy.
fucking crazy. He is fucking slamming Scorpion.
Yeah,
He is
dude.
going
He,
balls to the walls
bro,
with
like
him.
he 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 knocks this man over, and he jumps like 3 stories in the air just to slam on his duodenum, and then he
And
slams him into an oncoming cop car
it's so crazy too, because like he's doing
and
all this.
rips his tail off and starts beating him with it.
He's doing all this. Scorpion's just a dude. Like
Yeah.
Scorpion is just a person in this movie.
Like
Like
he
it's
gets
not
like
like no mutation thing. He doesn't have extra powers. He's a dude in
yeah,
a suit.
yeah. And he
It's
he wakes up after Gene leaves his body. He's like, ugh.
he's like, wow, man, dude, he's fucking all busted up, and it's
Yeah,
fucking, it's a crazy scene. Like, it's like super crazy because like
yeah,
he ends up injuring a cop. He feels really bad
yeah.
because like
And he
that's how
snaps
like
out of it. He's like,
snapped
please let me
out.
go
Yeah,
check on her. And the wolf's like, you need to leave. Like this.
dude,
Like,
it's an insane scene because like you can tell like shit's like he's not in control. And
yeah,
it's super badass to see, though. It's super badass to see on screen because he's doing all this crazy shit, being a dark Peter.
yeah.
Um,
Just letting instinct take over
oh,
instead
dude,
of
it's
holding
so
back. Yeah,
sick. Just him kicking the shit out of Scorpion. But like I said, it pisses me off because it's like It's not Scorpion. It's not Scorpion
Yeah,
at
and
all.
then you
For
don't see him again after that. That's the
no,
last time you see him.
and like
Yeah.
my whole thing was, what was Jean even gonna do with Scorpion out of all people? Like
Well,
realistically,
so like what she was trying to use him to figure out what VMAX was, which when we later learn that is, um, and we're trying to it's basically it's like she just needs a puppet, right? She tried to use Spider-Man, didn't work. Scorpion, I guess, in her mind was the next best thing until she finds the actual next best thing later.
yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense in terms of like power being like, hey, this person has power. She
Yeah,
could have easily gone a more like strategic route and been like, yeah, let me go for this person that can get close to
yeah.
them.
But
Personally,
she's a teenager, right?
that is true. She
And
is kind of
she's not like she's not experienced. She's not a superhero. She's not a supervillain.
yeah,
She doesn't do this stuff like on a regular basis, right?
yeah.
This is her like she's desperate. She's trying her best
Find
to
VMAX.
yeah, find VMAX and what that means. Which I thought for like half the movie that it was Venom because like it
So
like a
so
symbiote. That's what I was thinking.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of right there
Not
with you.
it's not that.
I was
But
I was right there with you, but then I was also looking on the other side, and I was thinking VMAX. I was like, what if it's something V and then Maximoff? And I thought they were gonna do something with Wanda and tie into
true.
her because like
Because
maybe that's
also
why mutants are starting to pop up.
at this point we don't know it's Wanda or it's Jean yet.
Yeah,
We don't learn that until after everything with MJ.
but like
Um,
there's so much to it, and so like this is like a big throw in your face. Like this is what the focus is. Like we're trying to figure out what this is. Now everybody's trying to figure it out. Like no one knows. Like nobody knows. Like Jean just wants to find it, but she truthfully doesn't even know like
yeah.
what this is. She just wants to see what VMAX is. Um, but the whole situation of all this going down leads to, like you said earlier, the big tipping point. And honestly, I think this is probably one of the biggest tipping points for the future of Marvel. If I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, I think this is a huge tipping point for future Marvel stuff if they play into it. Because
Are we?
Peter Parker goes and talks to Bruce Banner
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because he wants to stop the mutation.
Peter's about to have his Oppenheimer.
Yeah, literally, he's wanting to stop mutating. He goes to talk to Bruce Banner because Bruce Banner is Bruce Banner. He's not Bruce Banner
Yeah.
Hulk or Hulk. He's Bruce Banner, and he has like the
He's
whole
got that inhibitor thing that he's had. The first time we saw that was in Shang-Chi, by the way.
yeah. And so he's getting ready for that, which leads to him building his own for
Universal.
him and makes it universal. And dude, this being the biggest thing is because like he ends up thinking about it and he's like, I can build one for myself. I could also put it on Jean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he could put this on any mutant and stop any.
Anyone could put it on any.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh
Also,
my god.
yeah, and I found out later that Metzger, the head of Damage Control, like the
Yeah.
actual villain,
Yeah.
that guy is actually an X-Men, like in the comics.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, apparently. I've never heard of him, but yeah.
I honestly
Um,
didn't know anything
but
about
yeah,
him.
and even like in the scene, like when Peter's talking to Bruce, Bruce is like, how do you decide? Like, how do you decide
Mhm.
what part of nature is bad, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of another through line. It's like, just allegorically speaking, right? Just for the whole movie, it's like, how do you decide which parts of you are bad or wrong that you
Yeah.
can't allow to share with other people, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of apply that to um you can apply that to him being Spider-Man in general. Like, how do you decide if being Spider-Man is wrong for, Ned and MJ?
Yeah. Exactly.
There's a lot of little stuff like that just all throughout this movie. But so yeah, so Peter creates this inhibitor, but he can't quite get it down. It keeps overheating, right?
Yeah.
And messing him up. And so uh he's trying to test it and get it to work right, but his webs are still just exploding all over the place.
Yeah.
He falls out of the window or whatever, and oh no, his web shooters explode in the alleyway, and he gets like launched onto the street, and the dude walks up to him. He's like, "Yo, Spider-Man, are you okay?" Come to find out, it's not just some dude. It is Gene in his body, and he's like, "You get that monster under yet, Peter?"
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, and it's like Peter's like, "Oh fuck," and she starts talking about Ned and MJ, like, and she's basically like, "Hey, I'll race you to MJ," and like we have this whole chase scene through New York where she's hopping between people,
And this
like,
is seen in the trailer, by the way. This is a part in the trailer where he's like I think they do the whole I guess I'll go pay MJ a visit. That's in the trailer.
yeah,
So this is
yeah,
the part about where the part in the movie we are is that in the trailer.
yeah,
Ah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. This scene was pretty crazy too. I think this scene
yeah.
like hits super deep because Peter ends up stopping Gene because he realizes there's a
There's a distance.
33-meter distance, whatever it is,
Yeah,
and she can only travel that far between person. Can only, do that. So he ends up trapping this person because she ends up getting in a pilot, and they're in a helicopter, and they're going,
he webs a helicopter to a crane.
dude. And it honestly kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah, yeah,
but he ends up making it to MJ, getting MJ, and they leave.
yeah. He's like, you're like, he shows up at her window and he's like, "You're in danger." He's like, "I'm not coming with you. How do I know you're the real Spider-Man? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look, you
It's like,
got
"Get on!"
like, you're in danger. We gotta go." And she's
and
like, "Fine."
and so they go. He takes her to a secluded rooftop,
Yeah, he's
and
trying to figure out where to take her from there.
yeah, and so they start talking, and it's getting like super emotional, all this other stuff. And she's like,
And she
I
goes,
I remember some stuff. I
"Yeah."
remember like I can't
Well, she starts
exactly
she's
grasp
like,
what we are.
"Yeah." Well, she's like, "We knew each other, didn't we?" And he's like, "What?" And she said, "Well, you've saved me and Ned all these times. Like, it's so often, like in Washington and in London, and the stuff with the night monkey and statue, all of that. Like, you've saved me and my friends so many times. It can't be a coincidence." And it's kind of leading up to, like, were we friends? Were we classmates? Were we more than friends?
Mhm.
And
She's
and
like,
then they're
take
like,
off your mask. She's like, take off your mask.
yeah, and she goes to take his mask off, and he lets her, and she kisses him, and she's like, "Peter, oh my god, I remember it." And he hugs her,
And
and
he's
he's like crying
crying,
because
dude.
he's so happy that she remembers him. And then, "Go ahead, Peter." touch her,
dude.
and it's
Ah,
it's not MJ, it's Jean, because what Peter doesn't know is that Jean can just
oh my
let
god.
go of whoever she has and bounces right back to her. So she could just like she led him on a
Yeah,
wild goose chase to get
yeah,
him over here so she can just that was the whole thing. And it was
yeah.
like
Dude, that
at
scene
like I
hits.
it does. It's so good. It's like um and Tom and Zendaya are just acting their
Oh
asses off.
yeah. The entire
Because
movie, dude. The entire
yeah,
movie.
really. But and it's just like and I kind of clocked it a little before. I was like, this is too good. It can't be like
Yeah. Everything's
there's
looking he's
they're
becoming
like
too happy.
True Love's kiss breaks the spell.
Dude,
Like
she
there's
said
no
that as
way.
like
And she literally says that. She's like MJ would. It's like
uh
yeah, she would. Like the but
dude.
it's just like this can't be what they're doing. And then she says that shit, and the theater both times I saw it just
Dude, it
just
was so
gasped.
good. That's like it's like the best like because it's not even like a crazy, crazy twist. Like to be honest with you, it's just like that
Yeah.
slight little like, oh that
It's
hurt.
just the
It just
yeah, it's the
hurt.
way that it's done, it just twists the knife. Crazy. It's so well done. Um,
And then
yeah. And then she walks MJ over to the ledge, and Peter's like, "What you're doing is really fucked up, dude."
which
Like,
it's true, dude. It's
yeah,
fucking true
it is.
shit.
And she walks her to the edge, and she's all like, and then I thought we were about to see. It didn't go
Quince.
quite the way I thought because Peter goes all black eyed and he grabs her by the neck, and he's like, "You
Dude.
let her go." I thought that she was gonna let go of her like while Peter's holding her.
I thought
That
so
was
too.
I
I
was
thought
like,
so too.
bro, this is about to be so bad.
That's what I was
And
honestly hoping. And like, what we mean by let go, like not him let her like drop,
right, yeah,
like let her go, like
Yeah, Jean
Jean
let
let
go
go
of
of
her
her
control.
control
Yeah,
and go back to it being MJ because at this moment Peter has his mask off. It is Peter and the spiders.
yeah,
And so we're
and
like,
his
I was
eyes are
right there
black.
with you, dude. I was right. I
Yeah,
was waiting for her to like be in his hands and him fucking choking her and her be like, dude, why are you choking me out? Because at that point, she doesn't even know it's Peter. She doesn't know who the like she's like, this
yeah,
is the dude from the apartment party, but like she doesn't know who this dude is. That would have been such a crazy
yeah,
fucking thing to do.
yeah. Like next to like you imagine you're MJ, and it's already crazy enough the way that it goes down. Anyway, but like imagine you're MJ. You're just sitting in your apartment, minding your own business, and then literally you're being choked out by Spider-Man as he's
Dude, it would
dangling you
be
over the
insane. That would be
and you're like, what the
insane.
fuck?
That'd be
But no, what
insane.
actually happens is as he's holding her like that, she kicks off of his chest with both feet and falls off the building. And he jumps after her uh, and catches her. But
Yeah,
as
they didn't
she's
Gwen
falling,
Stacy her ass, so.
yeah, almost. But as she's falling, Jean lets go, and like you can see like her face shifts like immediately. Like it goes from like smug Jean to MJ kind of like what the hell to MJ being like oh shit like all in the span of like 2 seconds. Um, and Peter catches her, and he does this really cool. He does because like he grabs her like this, right?
Yep.
But then when he has his arms around, he webs the fire escapes on
Uh,
either side of him to slow their fall, and then it like kind of pendulums them this way, and they like slide on the ground and stuff. And she's like unconscious in his arms, and then this car pulls up on the side of the road, like they're on the sidewalk. This car pulls up, and this dude gets out, and he walks like right up to him, and Peter's like, wait, stop, please, you win, I'll leave you alone, sorry, I'll stop, just don't hurt her. And it's like that was the point all along. That's the whole reason that Jean's been fucking with him is because she can't get in his mind, so she has to take advantage of any other weakness that he might
yeah.
And in his case, the biggest weakness he has is MJ. So she has to just hit that as hard as she can to keep him off her back. And they have this whole exchange where um uh she while controlling this random guy gives him back the note because we kind of glossed over this
Oh, yeah, yeah.
when he's talking to Gene through MJ. We find out that um Gene was in his apartment. Like she's standing in front of his setup, in front of his computer, and she's holding the note that he wrote to give MJ at the end of No Way Home, which keeps coming back throughout this movie. Actually, the opening of the movie is him like voiceover reading the note.
Mm.
And she gives it back. She's like, "It's a nice note, by the way, a little heavy-handed," and then just leaves. And she wakes up, but yeah, that whole scene was just nerve-wracking, dude. The whole thing, that was crazy.
Then it goes down, and this is the point where we kind of finally get Sadie Sink
Yeah,
officially,
this is the first time we see her. Yeah.
like her face, because he
Mhm.
ends up taking a picture of her, gets a picture, and goes and identifies her using his system. And
But yeah, but before that, where is he when he does all
I don't think he's gotten. Did he get to Punisher's place yet? I thought he.
Yeah,
No, he did. He did go straight
yeah,
there.
because he doesn't have because he calls Yelena again once he gets
Mhm.
to Frank's boat. And when they get there, you know, like, um like while they're swinging there, he's doing the web stop, web stop, under his breath because he can't just do
Control
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah. But he
So
gets there and then he almost dies like 4 times because Frank has all these traps set up everywhere.
I like it too because it's so funny because like a lot of his traps that he has set up is all primitive for the most
Yeah.
part. It's mainly
He's
primitive
dropping shit on
traps.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's literally just got like shit, and it makes sense because like he doesn't want people just get blown up. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't just want all these like explosions and shit going on, and like people to know where he's at and be like, oh shit, we found the Punisher's location.
Yeah, so he drops a ship propeller on
Yeah. But he's all this, and so Peter's like, hey, I need you to help me protect MJ and
and
stuff.
he's like,
I
"No,
ain't
fuck."
doing that shit. I ain't
Yeah.
doing that.
He's like, "You owe me." And then they have this whole
I
back
don't
and
owe
forth
you shit.
where
They're
they're
like,
talking over each other. And
it's
then they turn to MJ, they're like, "What's that sound like to you?"
yeah, like
Talking
what
about
do you
the
think?
cat
What do you
out.
think?
And she's
And
like, "I
MJ's
don't
just like,
care.
I
I
just
just
want to
want
go
to go
home.
home."
Like, bro, please.
And then Frank literally tells them to kick rock. I love it. It's so good.
Like I'm telling you, Punisher in this movie is so good. Him and Peter's
Yeah,
relationship in this movie is so
yeah.
freaking good.
And I think this is a good place to talk about him actually, because like one thing that I think most of us were worried about when when we saw him in trailers and when we knew that he was going to be was that he would be really toned down for the sake of being in a PG-13 Spider-Man movie. And personally, I really don't feel like that's the case at all. I think
I know.
that Frank's character is very well preserved because he's still the same Frank that we know from. I mean, he's been doing it a little long. I mean, he's been the Punishering for presumably 10 years at this point. You know, if you're going by from when he showed up in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
Um so he's a little more in his element, but he's still the same Frank. Like he talks the same, he still curses all the time. Um he I mean, there's a particular scene at the end that's just like that's about as Punisher as it gets. Um we'll talk about that. But he's still very much the same Frank Castle that was known, right?
Yeah.
Um And like he has like Peter's there, and Peter's preventing him from being as unhinged as we're maybe used to, from being as violent.
Yeah, and I feel like it's
Um,
also in
but
part because of what they're going against.
right, exactly. Like the circumstances are different. So it's like, but that's the thing. Like the circumstances have changed. Frank hasn't. Frank's still Frank.
Yeah.
It's just that he's doing stuff with people that we haven't seen him do before. And I thought that was one of the strengths I feel of this movie.
Yeah. I mean, like you obviously don't see the whole prison scene with Frank. You don't see anything like that where
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
murdering everybody and doing all this stuff. But he's
Not for
trying.
lack of trying on his part.
He
Yeah,
is
not for
trying
lack
like
of
crazy.
trying.
He is left and right trying to do as much as possible. But like the first time, Peter stops him.
Yeah,
Okay.
with with the grenade launcher.
Yeah,
He just pulls out
yeah.
another one.
He Peter stops him in that situation. So Frank can't go crazy. The second time we're about to lead up to, and there's a pretty big reason why he, he doesn't do shit there. Um, but it's great. So Frank ends up deciding to help Peter,
Yeah,
uh, and is still giving MJ and Peter some shit, and MJ's like fighting back, like not like
yeah,
physically, but like shooting shit back at him. And he's like,
yeah,
"Damn, I kind of like her."
yeah,
like
yeah. Exactly.
he's
He's
like,
like,
"Dude,
I
she's
see
pretty
why you
cool."
like her. Yeah, I really
Like,
like their dynamic too, MJ and Frank. Like that was really because they're like personality wise, they're not that far off from each other. Because they're both
yeah,
very
at least
dry
this MJ,
and
yeah, this MJ especially,
yeah.
and so
Um,
it's really cool seeing them. Uh,
don't eat that chili.
there's a bunch of like small jokes, and that's what's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Is because like I think it's nice because Peter's actually like it seems like Peter you can kind of tell from fairly beginning, Peter's having some impact with Frank, at least when they're
yeah,
together. Like
yeah.
when their dynamic is together, you can see Frank is not fully like whenever you see him with Daredevil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that
because
kind of relationship is
yeah,
not
like
the same.
any fan of Daredevil will tell you
Yeah.
Matt Murdock is an asshole.
Straight up, left and right. Always, dude.
um. So this is where we cut to Peter on the phone with Yelena again, and we
Yeah.
find out Jean Grey.
Yeah.
And some people were like, "Yep, called it." Some people were like, "What the fuck?"
And
in
I
my
feel like
theaters.
the biggest thing about it is because her powers.
Yeah,
Because like we said, her powers, she's going from one person to another. She's controlling these people. And that's it. She's literally just controlling one person with limited reach, stuff like that. She's not doing
yeah,
anything crazy that like people would be like, "Oh, that's Jean Grey." She's literally just
and
doing
yeah,
that.
exactly. And
Like
like
that's
that's on
it.
brand though, because like Jean early on, she wasn't very powerful. Um, it was always like a locked away thing, and they touched on that in the older movies too. But like that's also from comics, so it's
Yeah.
like in hindsight, it makes sense that that's the way that they went, and it's not unfounded. Um, and I think right after this is where we get the bit where Peter talks about like what he needs, like what he's gonna do with his inhibitor, right?
Yeah.
And Frank's sitting there like, well, what do you need? What do you need to do that? And Peter's like, you you don't have what I need, Frank. And Frank's like,
Try me.
what? What
Try
the hell,
me.
man? Like, and he's like, you have all this stuff that you don't have this and this and this and Frank's like, he's like, well, why do you have that stuff? And MJ goes, bombs, bingo.
And
It's
it's
one of
all
it's one
three
of
of
my
them together
favorite.
is just so good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's real good stuff.
But
Um,
then inhibitor.
Yeah.
We're back to it, baby, because it's slowly
Yeah.
built up to it,
And we
dude.
get to one of my personal favorite scenes in the movie, the curtain,
Yeah, so
uh, where he's working on the
Peter
inhibitor.
on this side, mask off, which I think is kind of like it makes sense because he's probably just has it off so he can see better, but
Yeah.
also not really the. I mean, if he's wanting to hide it from MJ, not really the brightest idea, but
Yeah.
also,
But I think it's also like he trusts MJ. And
yeah,
I think part of him also wants her to know.
yeah, that's
But
what I was thinking. Like,
yeah, we get into that a little later too.
but this scene, dude, it kind of hits because it's like them talking about
Yeah.
relationships.
And they have such good chemistry, these two. And they always have, but like in this especially, it's really on another level. Like it had my whole theater like kicking their feet and giggling. They're like, oh, you know, myself included.
I had my whole theater is really just you.
Yeah, it was mostly just me, but yeah.
That's
But it
it.
was like it was like it was nothing crazy, but it's just them like going back and forth, like talking about how like she's um withholding. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Um Talking about her boyfriend and how he's kind of a jerk or whatever. And then they just go back and forth and it's really sweet. Um and then Peter like drops something or sets something on fire or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I think it starts smoke. Yeah, something starts sparking
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Because he gets distracted talking to her.
'Cause he's like pouring his
And
heart out, dude. And
yeah,
like on
like
a
the
he's
Mrs.
not telling her
Seven.
like, "Hey, this is about you," but this is like, I had this girl and it like I lost her and it hurts and all this other stuff. And she's like, like trying to comfort him and literally be like, well, maybe she's just and and it's like he's sitting there like, damn girl, this is about you and you're saying this stuff. But she's
Yeah,
just like talking, like trying to just talk.
yeah. But it's like and it's like so that at this point she gets up and she's like, I'm just gonna come over. And he gets up and freaks out and puts his mask back on.
Yeah.
And she like starts like she's like, before I started in what I'm doing now, I was in, bioengineering. And she like and there's so the inhibitor, the reason why it hasn't worked yet is because it keeps overheating is what they're saying. And they figured out it's because of the uh magnetic field emanating from his lenses in his mask is interfering with that, and she helps him figure that out.
Yeah.
So he tweaks that, and we get to the um oh, we totally glossed over another one of my favorite scenes. Really, there's a lot of really good stuff in this little strip of movie here where they're on Frank's boat. But another one of my favorite scenes is this interaction between Peter and Frank, where I can't remember exactly what leads to it, but Peter goes like, "I'm like you, I don't really have anybody.
Oh,
I mostly
whenever
stick."
Frank's like, so who is she to you? That's what
Right?
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
As
yeah,
he's Frank's like she's obviously somebody because you don't do
yeah,
this for nobody.
yeah, yeah. And Frank's like, Peter's like, "I'm like you. I mostly just stick to myself." And Frank's like, what do you know about me? He's like, you think this is a lifestyle? And what he said is, this is a sentence.
Mm,
And when it's like if you've watched, all the other John Bernthal Punisher stuff, like in Daredevil and his own show and the special and whatever, it's like that hits.
that
That
dude,
hits
because
hard. He's like, if you think I would be doing this if
if
anyone I loved was
my
still breathing.
dude, oh my god, it's like, dude, if they were still breathing, you think I'd be doing this, dude? And
and
you
and
can
that
see it's hitting him because he's like, dude, he's so passionate about it, and
yeah,
he always has been, and that's what's so amazing about Punisher and like the shows and stuff is like he's always passionate about what he says and obviously
yeah,
what he does.
and it's Bernthal's delivery too.
Dude,
He
oh,
really
it's so
just
fucking good.
he gets really really into it. And this is kind of like it's just another example of like what I earlier, where what I keep like jabbing at is that every character in this movie, um, like it serves the purpose of serving Spider-Man's story,
Yeah,
Peter's story. And it's like what I said earlier, like Frank is the extreme end of the path that Peter is on.
yeah,
Um, and it's like this scene is like really like Frank is he's illustrating that for Peter here. It's like, no, man, I didn't choose this. This just happened to me. Like this is just where I am. And if I could change it, I would in a heartbeat. Because for Frank, it's not about responsibility like it is for Peter.
yeah,
Frank is driven by something. It's punishment. It's wreaking that havoc that was wreaked on him on people who he deems deserving of.
yep,
He's not in it to save people necessarily. He's in it to punish people. That's why he's called the
the
Punisher.
Punish. What?
Wild concept,
I
right?
did honestly.
Um, but yeah, so we figured out the inhibitor problem,
Yeah,
and I think this is actually where we get that scene because Frank comes in and he's like, Peter tells him that it's working. I've had it on all night. I feel fine. Because
yeah,
Frank comes in and Peter's asleep at the table.
yeah. That's what. And he's like, couldn't sleep either.
Yeah, and he offers him coffee.
Yeah, but like,
Um,
it's all like nice because like you can tell Punisher doesn't want Peter to go like where he's thinking like him. You can tell Punisher is like all like Frank is all for it, dude. He's like
I'm sorry, I was laughing because when you said Peter, it sounded like you said Peter.
dude, good old Peter. He doesn't want Peter to be like him. Dude.
Anyway,
He doesn't want
ignore
Peter. That's crazy, bro. He
me.
doesn't
Sorry.
he doesn't want Peter to be like on the same path as him and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And so he's like trying to talk to him and be like, you're smarter than this kid, you got more on your shoulders than I ever could.
yeah,
And you need to live your life, dude. Like
yeah,
being a full on like guide to him and stuff. And so, Peter's like, sure, whatever. And kind of like he puts it on the back burner, but I feel like he doesn't fully take that info yet. Like I feel like at this
yeah,
moment he's still like he listened, but he hasn't taken it.
yeah.
And like
He heard it, but he wasn't. Yeah, he hasn't taken it in yet because he's still got the
yeah,
inhibitor, right? Because
yeah,
because he Frank was also talking about how like yeah that's part of you, kind of echoing a little bit of what Bruce was saying.
yeah.
And I think
Speaking
MJ
of
walks.
Bruce,
Yeah, I think this is where MJ walks in, and then like right after that, we get the like Peter gets the alert or whatever that there's another attack on damage control.
a bunch of thudding and a rumbling going
Yeah,
down.
so he's like Frank watch MJ and then takes off, and then MJ's like Frank watch Peter,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and so Peter pulls up and finds good old Gene and a good old Hulk. and
Yeah,
and the thing
and it
is, it's Bruce Banner Hulk.
yeah, the
It is
smart Hulk,
Professor
Professor.
Hulk. It is Professor Hulk,
Yeah, because
and he's
Gene
trying to
got a hold
break
of
into
Bruce.
thing.
Yeah, so like we see Metzger and a bunch of damage control
Yeah.
guards, like locked in that vault that Peter pointed out earlier when he talked to him. Um, and at first, like when Peter first gets there, we just see Jean talking to Metzger over like the intercom or whatever. We hear the like slamming and the thuds,
Mm-hmm.
and Peter gets there and he's like crawling around, like trying to figure out what's going on. And then he sees Jean, and they have a little. And then she tosses him Bruce's inhibitor, right? And then
Mm.
Peter turns around and there's Hulk, Smart Hulk, like still in his sweater.
Yeah, like looking all comfy and sweet,
in
and
his sweater and slacks.
the Jolly Green Giant's coming to play for a
Yeah,
little bit.
but he's still. I mean, he's still Hulk, so
Yeah, he's
he's
still a
still.
Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, he like grabs Peter and like
They
manhandling
start,
him.
they start going at it, and like
Yeah.
Peter's trying to put up a good fight and all that.
Yeah,
But
he does
like,
that really cool move where he runs down the hallway and he jumps off the wall and webs Hulk's like back and yanks him on the ground.
yeah. See, so he's
And
putting up a fight,
yeah,
and then Hulk
and
gets him
then
down.
yeah, and then we get the
Dude, it's so
Frank
Punisher
shows up.
coming in, fucking guns a-blazing.
Yeah, with the bombs and stuff. And he's
And
like, we get the the Peter's like, what are you doing here? This is way above your pay grade. We're fighting the Hulk. Oh shit! And Hulk stomps on the ground, and you get the wave of concrete. And then you get that really sick scene, like Hulk jumps at him, and Peter jumps over Hulk and webs Punisher and like drags him across the ground. You get that slow-mo shot of
yep,
Hulk and Spider-Man like flying at each other, and Punisher on the ground firing.
shooting at him. It's
Yeah,
so cool because they end up they use like these special grenades. I don't know
Yeah,
what they were exactly. They're just special grenades, to my
Yeah.
knowledge. I don't think they were mentioned anywhere else or shown anywhere else. They were just some grenades, and Punisher ends up using them on Hulk and distracts Hulk long enough for them to kind of get away to where they can talk. And Spider-Man and Punisher are talking. Spider-Man's like, "You go deal with Jean. I'm gonna deal with Hulk." Because, or actually, I think Punisher says it.
yeah.
Because
Punisher's like,
Punisher says it, and Peter's literally like, "You're just saying that because you don't want to fight the Hulk." And Punisher's like, "Well, yeah, kind of. Like, I don't want to fight the Hulk." Like,
yeah, and Peter's like, yeah, whatever. I got this. Just go.
and like
Then
it's
Punisher, like Frank goes to leave, and Peter's like, "Do not kill her." And Frank's like, "I'm gonna do this my way. Just go, just go."
so what I think is weird. So during this, Jean ends up taking over Punisher, and
Yeah,
Bruce Banner goes back to regular Bruce Banner.
yeah,
And so, like, she takes him and ends up using Punisher to bust into the safe, which is weird to me because that means those bombs that she used were stronger than Hulk. And obviously it was Professor Hulk, and Professor Hulk is weaker.
yeah.
But it was one of those weird things where it's like what are those? What what's
Well,
behind that?
I think it was more that like, well, for one, the bombs are more precise. She can plant the. I mean, she even
That is
says
kind
it
of
to
true.
Metzger. She's like, you have a strong door, but it's the wall you need to worry about.
That is true. That is true.
But also I think it was just like it was already weakened from Hulk wailing on it, and he got interrupted.
Yeah.
So that makes like my thought was like Spider-Man got there just in time because Hulk would have been in the door like within a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
That was just my thought, but it was also like all the more precise explosion of the bomb versus Hulk's brute force.
Yeah.
That's just how that was how I saw it.
But
Speaking
it's
of brute
cool.
force,
But it's cool because Bruce Banner's having a little bit of a little struggle himself because
yeah,
someone else is coming to play. Our boy
yeah,
is
the other guy.
coming out
And
strong.
Bruce is like, I think she broke something, like in his
Dude,
head.
dude,
Whatever barriers him and Hulk had set up,
it's so
because
cool.
he starts freaking out, and Ruffalo is delivering in this shit, dude. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's like, get everyone out of the building, and he's like having trouble saying it, and then the voice starts shifting because he's turning into Hulk,
Like
and he's
the
like,
whole.
Doctor, and Peter's like, Dr. Banner, no girl, only Hulk, and
And
it's
then
like,
it's
oh
so because it's like
shit,
Hulk, and he's
like
fucking huge.
he gets so big and so ripped,
It is
like.
on a whole nother level.
We haven't seen, like, this is like somewhere, this Hulk is like the middle ground between the Incredible Hulk and the Avengers Hulk. It's like the perfect marriage of the two. Like, this is the
Yeah,
best looking Hulk we've seen on screen. Period. Like, this is,
especially in a fucking minute.
yeah,
Especially in a minute.
yeah. Like,
Like,
and
dude.
Jean in Punisher's body. Like, whoa. Good luck with that, Peter.
Dude, honestly. I truthfully hate Jean because she truly is just a bitch, dude. I
She
hate her
is.
so. She's such an asshole the entire time, dude. She's like,
Such a teenage girl.
dude, exactly, and it's like you fucking little
Such
shit. Like,
assholes.
this,
Yeah,
I
no,
think, bro.
like, that's the thing, like, she's supposed to be the villain, and she is the villain of this
Yeah,
movie until the
technically, yeah.
she's
She's the
not
main
the
antagonist.
yes. Yeah,
Like,
and
she's
she's antagonistic as fuck. Like,
oh, on a whole nother level, dude. On a whole
but
nother level.
yeah, so then I love Hulk tries to do the Loki slam on Spider-Man, and he's like slamming him, and he comes back like his hand's empty, and he turns around and Peter's sticking to his back. I love that
They've
so
got a
much.
bunch of like nice things to that's like the
Yeah,
whole point of like the choreography is because like Spider-Man versus Hulk. Oh, dude, Spider-Man's losing, but he's putting up a fight. Like
yeah,
he's doing whatever he can to try and do anything and everything. Cause like
yeah. And
there's a
and,
part.
and
Go
we
ahead, go
see
ahead.
Hulk chase Spider-Man down that hallway.
And you get the clap.
Yeah, yeah. But as Spider-Man's going down the hallway, you get this like rotating shot of him like jumping from wall to wall, spinning webs, and Hulk like
Mm,
running into the webs and like slowing down before doing the clap as Peter's running. It reminded me of just the way that it was shot. Reminded me a lot of the Avengers, the first one.
with Black Widow.
Yeah, yeah. I really liked that. That's the first time we've seen Hulk be scary since then. I think.
Yeah, basically. And doing that, we didn't say anything about it because honestly, like I kind of forgot about it. But they ended up having like different villains equipment. So they end up having like Shocker's weapons.
Yeah,
And
the
and
Shocker
we were
Gauntlet.
kind of talking about some of it because we mentioned the hand, like the hand is working. So like a couple of Spider-Man's villains, either the equipment or the people are working or like they use them. And
Yeah,
so they have Shocker's
at Reignofcows
gloves
Control, yeah,
and Peter ends up getting a hold of Shocker's gloves. And I think that's one of the coolest like things during that fight is him punching the Hulk
yeah.
with like
Spider-Man,
Shocker's
Spider-Man
gloves.
punches the Hulk with Shocker's glove in this movie.
Dude,
Is
it
it
is
like that's it?
so sick.
They keep doing this stuff where in these movies where it's like I'll say the fact that I can say this sentence out about a live action comic book film is just like it's what I love about the MCU is that it's just become live action comic books at this
Which is what it's
like
supposed
it
to be.
exactly
Which
like
is
and it
what we
feels like
want.
keeping up with the universe feels like keeping up with comic books, which can be tiresome, don't get me wrong,
Oh
because there's
yeah.
like it's hard to keep up with comics. There's so much shit happening all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I like, so I understand when people are fatigued with it, Um, but like, this is what I've always wanted. Yeah, like, I have it. I have it now. Like, this is it. It's just crazy to me. But anyway, so yeah, Peter picks up the shocker gauntlet, and he's like, and I think at this point is when we have like they're on the side of the building,
Yeah.
and Peter's like coming like swinging in and out of the windows, wrapping Hulk in the webs, trying to
Mm,
get him restrained so he can put the inhibitor on him, but his skin's too thick.
yep.
Um, it's just everything about this scene, this
Oh, it's just
whole
so
whole
pretty.
it's so good. It's
Dude,
one of my favorite action scenes in a Spider-Man movie. Like it's up there.
and it's just so cool because Hulk's hulking again.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's getting to
Spider-Man,
show off all of his stuff.
yeah. It's
Dude,
like they're both at their peak of being like what they're supposed to be
because
as
like
characters.
Spider-Man's being smart the entire time. And that's like one of
Right.
the
Yeah.
biggest things about Spider-Man is he's going to be smart about what he's doing. Like he knows he's not going toe to toe with the fucking Hulk. Like if they're going hand
Yeah.
to hand, like that's not happening. So he's
Exactly.
like
It's like
he ends up like webbing the wall to the Hulk as it's like like the debris. He ends up
yeah.
webbing that to Hulk. And so it's kind of like restraining Hulk and doing all this other stuff. Like he's using stuff to his advantage to make it to where he
Yeah.
actually has somewhat of a chance to r-
Yeah.
buy time. I mean,
And
realistically,
it still doesn't quite work out for
yeah,
but it's like it and I think the perfect example of what you're talking about, how Spider-Man fights, like he's smart before he's anything, is in No Way Home when he fights Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he that is that is like top 3 favorite scenes in that movie for me. Because he beats Doctor Strange with geometry.
Yeah.
like like what's cooler than magic? Math. And like that's so Spider-Man, dude. Like, and then we just get more of that in this movie. And I
Yeah.
love, man, I love Spider-Man.
I love Spider, dude. I'll tell you, it's so cool. I just need to go watch it again. But it's already finished. Like I'm just thinking about it. Like all of it happens. Hulk ends up just like letting go. Like he starts
Yeah,
calming down and going back to Bruce
because
Banner.
he has Peter like he's down, like he's got Peter by the throat,
Mhm.
and he's about to start like just wailing on him, and Peter's like, Bruce, it's
Dr.
me,
Banner.
Peter.
Dr.
I'm your
Banner.
friend. Yeah, because they do know each other, or they did at before the wish. So I think this is Peter like trying to appeal to Bruce as much as he can. And I don't know
Mhm.
that it's Bruce that recognizes it. I think it's Hulk because I think Hulk knew Peter through Bruce's eyes. Because Hulk is always like, and this is all like this is conjecture. This isn't said in the movie. This is never
No, no,
really
no.
said about Hulk in the movies at all. But like in the comics at least, Hulk is always present, even when
Yeah.
Banner is the dominant when Banner is the one in charge of the body, Hulk is still always present, which is not the case for the other way around.
Yeah.
We know that for sure in the MCU at least because of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Uh, but like, so if Bruce knew Peter for that brief amount of time between like Endgame and No Way Home, then Hulk knew Peter as well,
Yeah. And
and
I mean, it
especially
is
at
something
that
in the
point.
comics. So,
Yeah,
uh,
especially at that point because that was Smart Hulk as well.
yeah.
So like, but then Hulk, he sees his reflection and he's like, he calms down and then he starts to fall and he just lets go. And that's the end of that.
I know it's just sad because of how short it is.
Yeah. I could watch a whole movie of that, of just
Dude, honestly,
Spider-Man.
if it was just them
It
going at
was so
it, dude.
cool.
Dude,
It was so cool. But so Hulk falls off the building, and then we cut to the vault. Punisher blows the vault with Jean in control of him. And then Jean goes into the vault, and Punisher like kneecaps all the guards, and is about to like has him at gunpoint. Jean's asking about VMAX, and
I don't know what that is.
yeah, exactly. He's still like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then
The
Peter shows up.
director says that,
Yeah,
so.
Webb's Frank's gun to the wall and hits the inhibitor on Jean, and boom. And then, because as soon as he hits the inhibitor on Jean, Metzger uh tranks her, right?
Yep.
As she's falling asleep, she falls, and Peter catches her, and as she's fading, she says one word. What care to regale our audience?
Sarah. Sarah. And that's it. She says Sarah. She says the name Sarah. And Peter catches it, and whenever like they take Jean away and stuff, Peter goes and talks to the director and is like, "Hey, does the name Sarah ring a bell?" And he tells Peter, "Hey, like she must have been in my mind thinking of a person, one of my like people that I lost, and it must have just like stuck to her once you got her out of my brain, whatever." And Peter's like, "Oh, okay, buddy. I'm okay, cool. We're friends. You would never lie to me."
Right?
And
Yeah.
it just like kind of dabs him up and leaves. Happy ending right there. We stop the villain. Everything's kind of a-okay. The movie's like, "Oh, dude, yeah, we won the day. The day is won. We're all happy."
He's not for long. Peter's not happy for long. Because what happens the very next scene?
He goes back to Punisher's hideout to get MJ. And, kind of do like the celebratory, like we won kind of thing.
Like, yo, you're not in danger anymore. We got her.
And MJ is holding on to Peter's letter. Dude, this is it. This is the part because she's like, "Did you mean to leave this for me? Like, did you want me to read this?"
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like it kind of like appears like Peter just wrote this and is wanting her to see this like right now. When Peter realistically just accidentally left it behind, not thinking much of it. And dude, this scene hits so fucking hard.
Unless this is part of what we've been talking about, where he's kind of like he's struggling with that, like he's coming to the precipice of reconnecting and then pulling back, where it's like we said that with Ned earlier, following him back to the apartment, and I kind of touched on a little bit when you said what you did about the him working on the thing without his mask on.
Yeah.
And it's like he trusts her, but part of him also hopes that she looks around that corner and sees his face, and hopefully that jogs something.
Yeah. Because
so it's
I
like
mean it kind of makes more sense
him...
because Peter keeps that letter on him like throughout the entire movie. That movie, like the letter is like brought up a lot. Like it is a big thing in this movie.
Like he
and it
has
leads...
it with him.
Go ahead.
He has it with him on the boat because Jean took it from his apartment when she was in there controlling MJ.
Yeah.
And gave it back to him with that random guy.
But like, dude, this confrontation, it is so rough, dude.
And again, both of them just acting their asses off, man.
Because this, like, MJ's like, "Bro, what?" And Peter's like, "I love you." And you're hoping and praying. She's just like,
Yeah, that something clicks.
I
But like,
I did,
yeah,
but
but
it
and even before
doesn't.
that, she's like, how could you do this? How could you make this decision for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being
have
like, how,
that whole thing? And he's like yeah, and he goes into the like, I lost someone, and I couldn't let that happen to you. Like I couldn't. And he acknowledges like they took her choice from her when he chose not to tell her like he promised he would.
mm-hmm,
Um and he acknowledges that. I just couldn't bear that. Like I couldn't bear that cross basically. And
because I
she goes,
love you.
ah, and she says whatever you did, this spell or whatever,
It
it
worked.
worked because all of this, everything you're saying, I don't have any of it. I don't love you because I don't
Oh,
know you.
it,
And it's
oh
like,
my god.
oh God.
It's
And
he's just
so that kind
standing
of,
there, dude.
yeah. It's like, what do you do? You know?
There. Like he has to listen. Like he has to hear. But he's like, he's
Yeah.
tearing up. He's like, he's sitting there
Yeah,
and
man. Oh
he's
God,
like,
it's
dude,
rough.
dude. Honestly,
And
probably
that
one of my like favorite parts because it hits so deep.
it does, yeah. And that nerve too is like it's kind of like just jammed on by Jean when she's in MJ's body because she's like she says like it's sad because there's like
There's
she goes, "You're not
nothing
a
of you in
pure at
here.
all. There's
There's
nothing left of you."
nothing.
And like you're hoping when you realize that that's Jean, you're hoping that she's just saying that
Fucking with him,
to
trying
fuck with
to.
him. But then and then this is like, no, she wasn't just saying like that's true. Peter, like he's not in there, you know. There's nothing of him in her because like he had his opportunity, right?
Yeah.
When they were but now, it's been 4 years. She's gone to college. She's, in her mid 20s now. She's not a teenager. Neither of them are. She has a boyfriend now, whether he's a dick or not.
Yeah, whether we know his name or not. I mean,
Yeah, whether he has a name or
yeah, like exactly.
not. And it's just rough, man.
It's one of like the most like deep, impactful scenes because like she says all this and is like, you hid this from all this stuff and just going at it and is like, I'm gonna leave now. Goes to leave, comes back down the stairs.
I don't have a phone.
I need. Can you
Can
help
you
me
take
get
me
back,
home?
dude?
Yeah,
That because like them going back, her arms wrapped around him, just like tight,
yeah,
dude. Like and like it's just how she has to be. Like after all of that, it's just like, oh, like dude,
yeah.
ain't no
And it's
way.
just like, and not just that, like she says before the "I don't love you" though. She's like I understand completely why she, meaning the MJ who she is no longer, but like because she's a different person now. She doesn't
Yeah,
have all of
any of
those
that.
memories that would have shaped her into the MJ that he last saw. Like she's like, I understand like why, what she would have loved about you, but that's not me. And it's very Guardians, which I know you're not the big fan of.
I think it did better than Guardians 3 by
I
a
agree.
long shot. By a
I agree.
long shot.
And I am a big fan of Guardians 3, but I agree with you.
I think they did what Guardians 3 tried to do and made it actually impactful for
Yeah.
me.
I did feel the impact of this, like especially at the end where Gamora, I bet we were
Okay,
fun.
okay, that part was really good. The Gamora and
Yeah.
Peter part, that was a really good scene.
Yeah.
Even though
The
like
thing about that with Guardians 3 is that wasn't in the cards. That was kind of like James Gunn had to deal with that because of what the Russos did in Infinity War and
yeah.
Endgame. So that was like with this brand new day, that was like built up to. Like that was planned.
Yeah.
That was in the cards from the beginning.
And they did it really good. They did it
They
fucking
did.
really
They
good
did it
because
really well.
they do all that, and then fucking she goes back to the apartment with Peter and is like, "You want to come in and see Ned? You know, like you want to come see Ned?"
Mm-hmm.
And they go in there. They go in there and see Ned. And dude, it's like the good old days because
Yeah.
Ned and Spider-Man, because he's not Peter Parker, he's Spider-Man, are having
But
a
they
fucking
just like
blast
they click immediately.
instantly.
And then
MJ's even having fun and just chilling there and talking
yeah,
and laughing and doing all
but
this.
like when they get in there, like Ned's Ned has his app, the Spidey tracker,
Yeah.
and he goes, he's like, MJ, the Spidey tracker app. It's like Spider-Man's in the direct vicinity. And Peter's like, oh no way, that's awesome. And he's just standing there in full Spider-Man. And Ned just like drops his phone and stands there staring.
Dude,
Oh
I think it's
man,
so
but
funny
they're
because he's like,
building.
"How do you know MJ?" Yeah. He's like,
Yeah,
they
they
come
have
up,
to
so
like, yeah.
she fell in a subway. I had to say it, and he's like, "Dang it, why does that never happen to me?"
But and then he's like, but then they're building Legos together,
Oh my
which we
god,
see them
dude.
do in all three of the previous movies.
Ah, like
And
instantly back to like how it was.
yeah, and
Like there's
the Lord of the Rings thing
yeah,
when they're talking about the
they're being nerds and laughing and
yeah.
talking and doing all dude. Oh my god,
And
it's
Ned figures out how his web shooters work. 'Cause he just knows.
because he's just
And he's like,
that cool.
keep your secrets. It's so good, man. It's so bittersweet because it's great. And when Ned goes to get the food that he ordered, and MJ's like, you guys look like best friends. And
And
she
literally
shows
has a
him
picture of the
that
picture.
she drew, which is the first time we've seen her, like the first call throwback to her being an artist since Homecoming. Because in Homecoming we see her she's sitting in detention drawing everybody.
Hmm.
And we don't see her drawing after that ever in
No.
any of the movies until now.
But it's a nice picture because it's Peter and Ned, and it's him in
Yeah.
Spider-Man outfit with his mask off.
Mask off. Yeah. It's so
It's so nice, and then it gets fucking interrupted because of Gene.
yeah.
Fucking
But they're like
or no, no, it's not even Gene. It's Peter realizing. I forgot.
yeah, because they're talking what is it? He so oh man. He said
Peter. Oh, that's what I remember. It's Peter
yeah,
talking about the kiss.
yeah. So she says so she tells him that she basically apologizes for Ned being Ned. And Peter's like, "Nah, it's fine. This is the most fun I've had in years. I really missed you guys." Which, ow.
Like she's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but also this whole
Yeah. But
situation
that
kind of
but
is.
that's when she shows him the drawing,
Yeah.
and and then she's like, "You should tell him. He can take it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And then that's when he tells her a kiss, like when she was in your body, she kissed me and I kissed back thinking it was you, but it wasn't. And basically just apologized, which I really appreciate that they took the time to do that and show him doing that.
Yeah, because it
Just
does put a
especially
little bit more
considering the
there.
conversations surrounding this movie, especially with like the "I don't love you" part, and then
Yeah.
asking him to swing her home. I'm not gonna get into it because it make me, but I've seen a lot of really loser ass dudes on the internet talking about the scene.
I don't walk your ass home.
Yeah, it's like I would have left her ass there. It's like, yeah, that's why you're not Spider
That's
Man.
that's
Like,
why, like, bro. That's why most of y'all are single. Like, bro.
like that's why, yeah, exactly. That's
Like,
why you couldn't be Spider Man because you're a bad person. Like, anyway,
I love you, just not that much. Like, bro.
yeah, like, like you're not. Like, he's not entitled to a relationship with her. She
Yeah,
literally doesn't
no.
know this dude.
Yeah,
Like,
like, and it's his own like, realistically, it's his own fault,
it's literally his own fault. Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, it's his own fault for what happened and what led to it and all that, so, like
Yeah. Anyway, but so he says that, and she's like, "Oh well, it's okay. I don't remember any of that anyway." And then he's like, "Wait a minute.
Ping, light bulb.
If you don't remember anything, then Metzger couldn't have remembered Jean being in his head and seeing this Sarah. So he lied to me. What the fuck?" And so that's when he calls Black Widow back and has her check for
The
um
Sarah.
Sarah in relation to Jean. And
Ding,
then,
ding.
a really cool bit that I actually missed the first time I watched it. It didn't click. But when the look on Yelena's face, the way that her demeanor changed very drastically when she realized that Sarah was Jean's sister, because sisters are a very sore spot for Yelena,
Yeah,
both because of Nat and just in general being a black.
yeah. So, Sarah is Sarah Gray, and I personally did not know this was a real person.
I didn't either. I knew that Jean had siblings. I
I
didn't know, but apparently Sarah Gray is actually not, like, she's not an insignificant part of Jean's story in the comics. Apparently, I looked that up, and
supposedly she dies in the comics too, so.
yeah, and then gets
So
like resurrected by the Phalanx and becomes like a cosmic being. It's crazy. Like,
oh, okay, that's I didn't know that.
fucking runs in the family, I guess.
Dude, that's wild, 'cause, I didn't know shit about her, and so we learn about this, cuts to Jean, she's locked up in this, like, the detention center.
Hmm.
She's having, memories of Sarah like, the day Sarah got taken,
Yeah,
and it's basically them just doing, like, like, this is how the powers work, and Sarah
yeah,
shows Jean the hopping,
yeah. Because Sarah
and
is Jean's older sister, which
yeah,
is funny because the actress who plays her is almost a decade younger than Sadie Sink.
that's why I
She's
didn't
like,
know that part either.
yeah, she's like 16, and Sadie Sink is like 24.
All I'm saying, dude, is they do this scene, and I think this is, like, the only saving grace for something that happens later, but, like, they see a mom and their like, daughter playing, and she's like, I wish like, they started talking about their mom and how their mom wasn't there and wasn't a good mom and, like,
Like,
got rid of her.
yeah,
Got
abandoned
rid of
them
them because they
when,
got powers
yeah,
and stuff, and
which
the sister
typical
Sarah's
movie
like,
stuff.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah," like, this Sarah's like, "That wasn't a real mom," and Jean's literally like, "Well, what have you done?" She was like, "I would've loved us. I would've
yeah.
cared for us. Who cares if we have power?" You know, stuff like that.
And Jean's like, well, she was before we were different, and
Yeah,
which that really hit. That that was rough. It's like she was a mom, like she was our mom, and then she
and then we
just
got powers, and then fuck us, I guess.
yeah, that's crazy.
But, Sarah gets kidnapped, or, not
by
kid yeah,
by
I mean, yeah.
damage control.
Yeah, and doing that, she ends up using her powers to push Jean away, so
Yeah,
Jean doesn't stop her, all
so
that
Jean
stuff.
doesn't get like also
Yeah. So basically, damage control has Jean in this little facility to test her powers and push the limits, so they can use her powers to make equipment for them to use, just like how they're using the shocker gloves, stuff like that. They're
right.
trying to make stuff that they can use by using
Yeah,
Jean and
so they're
Sarah's
like,
powers.
so one thing, this is why what Jean's been doing this whole time. She's been trying to find her sister and save her from damage control,
Yeah.
which is why she's like, why she's been dogging on Spider-Man the whole time. She even mentions that when you first meet her, she's like, you work for people who hunt down people who are different just because they're different.
Yeah, like us. Literally
Yeah.
mentions him.
Um, and then later, so like this is what Jean's been after this whole time. She's trying to find Sarah.
Yep.
Um, and so what damage control is trying to do with Sarah before Jean and now Jean is they're um they are uh forcing forcing jumps basically,
Yeah.
and trying to replicate that brain pattern to try to give some, but like basically mass produce that ability,
Yeah.
to give that ability to other people
And
that
so
they can control and who work for them.
they are straight up torturing Jean doing this, like
Yeah.
full on torturing her by forcing her to use her powers.
Yeah.
And during this time, she gets tortured and going through so much pain and stuff. She ends up looking up.
Yeah, because she's just like, oh,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
she's like, "Oh god, this fucking sucks," and looks up, and there she sees it. V Max. It is
on a vent
the
in the sea.
vent. It is the vent. It is a label
It's like,
on the vent. It's like torn.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
Vent
vent pronounced or
Max,
something.
Vent
Yeah.
Max, but the E and T is like moved, so she just sees V Max. This is the last thing that her sister Sarah saw.
As she died, like her death throes was like there was a massive telepathic spike, and she just sent literally the last image she saw to Jean's head, basically, like in
Mhm.
her death throes.
And it
And
was
Jean
V
has
Max.
been operating this whole time on the assumption that it was a message to her to be like, "Hey, this is where I'm at."
Yeah, this is a
But it was
V Max is
actually,
a facility or it's a
or
thing.
yeah,
It's something. It's something important. It was just a
no,
vent in this room where they tortured her sister to death. And Jean
that's
gets pissed.
and then she does some Jean
Yeah,
stuff.
then she becomes Jean fucking Grey because she fucking freezes like what is it, a mile radius,
It's
some
a
shit.
kilometer, like like everyone within a kilometer's radius of the prison that she's in.
It's frozen like in place because she's like freezes their
Like
and so like there's like
just like in Logan when Professor X has his seizures, it's almost the exact same effect.
and dude, so she does that and like this is like the first time she's doing like crazy big stuff. Like we said, only the 33-meter limit or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And so this is like huge. And she ends up fucking dragging the dude over to her using actual like telekinetic
Telekinesis.
powers
Yeah.
and like doing all this stuff. So like it's his fault. Gene's like this. Gene's had all this power because of his ass. But like, so she's doing all this stuff, and Peter's on his way to go, save Gene because he realizes, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
all this happened.
Yeah. I just delivered her to these people who tortured her sister.
Yeah, and so he's going. Punisher or Frank calls him and is like, "Don't do this." If worse comes to worse, I'm gonna handle it my way.
Yeah.
That,
He's
that
like,
kind of stuff.
I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. She's too dangerous, basically.
Yeah. And so Peter gets to the facility and is making his way to them.
We have this really cool fight scene on like the roof with the guards before he gets inside. And
Yeah.
this is before she freezes everybody. So
Yeah, yeah.
as like this stuff with Jean is happening, we're cutting to Peter on his way to damage control.
Yeah, a lot of this information is basically intertwined. We're just telling it
Yeah.
fully in one way and then going to Peter
Yeah.
because all that Gene stuff, it slowly pieces together, but it's easier just to say it.
Yeah. And
But
we get that really cool scene that was in a lot of Peter fighting those guards, and he gets the, "Are you a stretcher? You a big stretcher?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That scene.
Him kicking their ass is fun too because he's just going around, throwing around, doing all that stuff,
Yeah.
and he just beats the shit out of them, which is awesome. It's fun. And he finally gets inside, and by the time he gets inside, I think is when they freeze. Is
Yeah,
the time they
they're all
freeze.
frozen except for him because she can't get in his head.
And
Yes.
so he is looking, and it's a bunch of hands, people
The
frozen.
it's a bunch
The
of hands.
hang on, yeah. The hand. It's a bunch of the hands people, like all the ninjas, okay?
Yeah.
And they're frozen in there, and Jean's like, "Get stop me, Peter. You can't do it."
Yeah.
And Peter and them are talking, doing all that
Yeah, and
stuff.
he's, like, trying to apologize, and she's like, "Well, if you came here to save me, too late. I don't need saving, they do."
Yeah, and
And then she
starts,
sticks the hand on him.
and that scene's pretty badass too, because
Yeah,
like the hand is like flinging him around,
so
like so
yeah,
cool.
it's so cool. Like, they're doing, like, wire fu stuff,
Oh, it's
like
I'm a big kung
Hong
fu
Kong.
person, all that
Yeah.
shit, so
So, like
love
so
it.
here's the thing. I've been waiting for us to get to this point. My biggest issue with this movie
Uh,
is, like, in the lead up to this movie, and we talked about it a little bit in our group chat and stuff.
mm,
The only thing that I couldn't figure out was why the fuck the hand are in this movie, because they're all over the promotion, they're on all the posters and the trailers. Why are the hand here?
yeah.
And we get here, and it's literally they're just security for for the damage control.
And it's
And it's
sad
like,
because it's literally
so
said
here's
in the movie. It's said in the
yeah.
movie. The hand was just a bunch of, like, lost children that needed
They're
someone to
basically the foot from Ninja Turtles. Like, they
basically,
turned them into the foot.
they say something on the lines of, like, them being, like, broken toys, and
Yeah.
you just gotta
Like,
fix them or
yeah,
some shit like that.
they needed direction.
Yeah, some
And it's
stupid
like,
shit like that.
yeah. So, like, here's the thing. The entire reason the entire reason that the hand were in this movie was for this scene alone.
Yeah, basically.
Because Destin Daniel Cretton wanted to do his Shang-Chi shit and have them doing wire fu, which, you know what?
Fuck it.
Fair.
Fuck it.
Because it was cool as fuck.
It's cool. It was
It
cool.
was cool
I
as
can't blame
hell.
him. It was cool.
We had
It was a
Spider-Man
badass
fighting
time.
we had Spider-Man fighting ninjas in Hong Kong Fooey style. That you know what?
I was very butthurt that it wasn't them leading up to Daredevil. I won't lie, because like that was like the
Yeah,
biggest thing is
yeah,
people were like thinking, oh, the hand, Daredevil, prison, a whole bunch of like lead up to. Kind of upset about that, but like
yeah.
it's still a really badass scene and all this other stuff because like it's going and Peter's not winning. Peter is
No,
not winning this fight.
no,
He
he's
he
not.
gets
His web shooters get
web
destroyed. He
shooter
gets
destroyed, web
stabbed.
shooter destroyed. Yeah, fucking that was a crazy part. Him getting stabbed because
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but it looked like the dude stabbed himself
No, I
to
think he
hit
just went
Peter.
beside him.
See, because
Yeah,
I thought I thought he stabbed himself because it was Gene controlling him. And
maybe.
Gene's whole thing was like, I don't give a shit because I can still control this dude. That's what
Yeah,
I
I don't
thought, and
think
I
I
might
don't
be wrong, and you might be right of just him going on the
because
side.
that guy was still up after the fact. Like he was still fighting.
But also, that's Gene controlling him after too. Gene could have been
True.
like pushing through that and like making him go past his limits.
I don't think he did. It looked like it was just beside, you know.
Did if anybody knows
I,
that, like if anybody knows, that'd be cool. Or maybe I just
yeah,
need to go back because like it'd be crazy if Gene did that. But if not, still badass, still cool. And he's
and
getting
then
his
he
ass
just like
kicked in.
he gets all these hits and stuff, and then he literally he's on his knees and he pulls his mask off. Which at first I was like, why are you doing that? And then he coughs up just blood all over the place.
Yeah.
Man, he had to pull the mask off to get the blood out of it. He had so much blood in it. It's like, oh shit. Okay, our boy Pete's in a bad way right
Yeah, and that's when the whole dialogue kicks in, and
now. Yeah,
he realizes he's himself. He's Peter. He's Spider-Man. He's everybody. He's all in
yeah,
one.
it, yeah,
He is him.
Gene's like, what, basically all of this, like, you've been lying to yourself. You're shackling yourself with this, this inhibitor thing, and she's like you can't. People like us can't have it both ways. We can't be normal. And
Hmm.
she's like, so are you Peter Parker or are you Spider Man? And he takes the inhibitor off his neck, and then his eyes turn black,
And you're
and then
like, oh fuck.
This ninja jumps at him with the sword, and then he just goes like with the web and shatters the sword. And he's like, "Oh, both." And
His
then
eyes turn back.
yeah,
Oh,
and then he knocks that ninja up to the wall, and there's the spikes off. And right before he gets impaled, he webs him, and then his eyes go from black to normal,
oh, I'm not gonna lie. I
and
thought
then
he was
he's
gonna
just
murk
like,
fool.
yeah, dude, he just starts like he's Spider-Man-ing. He's beating the shit out of him, and they're like swinging the batons at him, and they're breaking on his arm.
Yeah, obviously the swords aren't doing shit anymore. Like
Yeah, and
everything
he
is like
and he webs the
the
guns
they
that
had they
liquefied his synthetic
yeah,
webs.
they had actual weapons for if Spider-Man went bad, so they had stuff that would like mess up his webbings.
Yeah,
And
but
he ends
just
up being able
the
to push past
yeah
that.
the synthetic webs, because they're not, they're not
Yeah,
organic. They're made out of a compound. They made something that would disintegrate that compound, but the organic webs aren't made out of the same stuff, so it didn't
yeah.
affect them. That was
It's a whole badass scene of Spider-Man just kicking ass left and
and
right.
then he webs up all the way up, and he like falls, and he does the web
The
all
little
around it, spinning as he's falling, webbing everybody, all the ninjas. And then he
and
rebounds back up, and he webs the door and like kicks it and like just surfs into the room on the door. It's crazy.
it's so cool. And that's where we come to the climax of the movie, the confrontation of Peter and Jean Grey face to face, not getting ready to fight. They do not do a final confrontation fight. They do a final mouth to mouth. Wait, pause. Hang on. Hang on. They talk. Okay. They get ready to talk. Okay. Peter's like, I love you, and they kiss. No, I'm playing, and they don't do that. They end up talking, and Jean's like, you know, I'm stronger than I used to be, so I can control you or get inside of you.
And
And
then she
Peter's like,
pause.
Paul. Oh wait. Peter's like, okay, do it.
Yeah, because she's
I
got
loosened it up for
yeah,
you.
no, because she's got Metzger on the chair with the glass shards around his face,
Yeah.
and he's like trying to talk her down, and then she freezes him like successfully. He can't move, or he kind of can't. Like he could still turn his head and
Yeah, it's like
talk,
super, super
but
slow and stuff.
yeah. And she's like, "I'm a lot stronger since I last tried. I can get in your head now." And she does. And we've kind of skipped over this throughout the movie.
Kinda.
But there was this we keep flashing back to this scene of Peter sitting on his bed in the apartment that they lived in Homecoming.
Yeah.
And it's Aunt May coming and sitting on the bed, and it's like he's in his homecoming suit. The bag that the suit was in from Tony is off to the side, so it's like right after May finds out that he's Spider-Man at the
Yeah.
end of Homecoming. The
Yeah.
what the you know,
Yeah.
and this is so good because it's basically um it's May telling Peter basically like things are gonna get real weird real fast, and we're not gonna always be able to um predict in what way. But what you should know is that the people who love you because of who you are, not
Yeah.
because of not because you have power or because you're special. And it's kind of it's two lessons mainly. It's one, um what she says is you have a responsibility to yourself and to those who you care about to keep them, like, hold them tight, keep them in your life too, because it's basically just saying you can't do this by yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody can do anything by themselves. Which and like halfway through this, um, it goes from Peter sitting on the bed to Jean. Like Jean takes his place, and Aunt May is talking to Jean, not to Peter. And for a girl who, up to this point, has been um, very clear about missing a mother figure,
Yeah.
that hits hard. And then Peter is there, and he sits down on the bed next to her, and and Peter's like, "I'm sorry about your sister." Jean's, "I'm sorry about your aunt," and they're just going back and forth. And Jean's like, "I don't have any," and Peter's like, "Well, you have me." And it's basically like these two just lonely people who are just like, who decide that they don't have to be lonely anymore. They have each other, and like, uh, it's just that is who Peter Parker is, right?
Mm.
First and foremost, he's going to be there for people. Like he cares about people. That's why he does what he does. That's what his responsibility is. And this is just so, it's so Spider-Man. Like everything about this movie. Like every time I've said that so many times in this in this conversation. Like
Huh.
it's just so Spider-Man. It's like, and it continues to be so. What are your thoughts on this?
I think yeah, you said it good because like watching it at first, it's it's kind of weird seeing how quickly Jean is kind of accepting of Aunt May, but then it's also like this is her truly seeing because she saw someone as a mother figure. She had a mother, but she had someone that wasn't a full-on mother through thick and thin, where Peter had someone who wasn't his mother and was being a mother figure through thick and thin
Right.
and showing like, hey, like there's somebody for some like everyone. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to do this whole lot. And so I thought it was beautiful. Like thinking about it, like first it was kind of like, oh well, that was kind of fast. But then I like truthfully like sat there and thought about it a minute, and I was like, God damn, that hits like really deep because like
Yeah.
she truthfully has no one and is seeing like deep into Peter's like mind and is seeing all this, and so it's like it's honestly like a really really good scene,
Yeah.
and
And it's like
especially if you go back and watch it.
yeah. And she's in Peter's mind. So she is feeling everything that he felt
Yeah,
talking to him in that moment, when, like, because it's a memory of it, but she's reliving that. She is feeling everything that he felt in that moment talking to May.
yeah,
And it's like, and it made, like, thinking about it, it's what you're saying about how quickly Jean just kind of went with it.
yeah,
That actually, you saying that made, well, why is that? Because this is what she was looking for all,
yeah, honestly.
like, because this is what Sarah was to her. Sarah was like not just her sister, but like Sarah was the only person she had left.
Yeah,
She was the closest thing to a mother figure that she had. And so when when Peter exposes her to this, to what May was to him, and like in the most intimate way you can, like by literally sharing the feelings that he had in that moment with her,
yeah,
and then expressly stating like, "Hey, you have me. I'm here for you." That was all she needed. Like she did a lot of violent stuff. She hurt a lot of people. That scene on the rooftop with MJ was fucked up, but in the
it's
end, all of it
super fucked
was
up.
fucked up. But in the end, it was all leading to her trying to accomplish this.
Yeah,
And it's like she doesn't, like, we don't actually see her kill anybody. Like
Yeah.
like you can be like, oh well,
This dude might have died.
somebody realistically would have died in the thing. Like yeah, realistic, but this is a Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Like,
you can't in a movie you can't assign blame for something that you didn't see or you weren't told happened. Like
basically, yeah.
if it's not hinted at, you can't just be like, oh well, this would have happened, therefore it did, right?
Yeah.
Um, and even like in this scene where it's like she could have killed Metzger long before Peter got there. She could have liquefied him
Yeah.
with her brain long before Peter would have ever even entered the room. But the whole time he's fighting the hand, she's just sitting there with him, holding him hostage. She could have killed him, and she didn't. Which is like, that's not what she was after.
Yeah.
She was a desperate teenager trying to save her sister, the only thing that she had left in this world. Right? And so when she gets there and she's in Peter's mind and she understands fully who he is, and that when he says she has him, he means it wholeheartedly. She's like, I'm not alone anymore.
Yeah.
And now neither is he. Which I mean he never really was necessarily. But you know, it's she got what she came there for, essentially.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't necessarily in the way that anybody.
Yeah. And I mean, shoot, I think they both realize to themselves that like they have to keep pushing forward, but they're
Yeah.
slowly progressing towards something good. They both did at that moment. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like Peter's fully seeing too, like, hey, like it took me this long to realize, and I'm still realizing it, and I gotta
Yeah.
fix stuff and do stuff. But like they both realize that,
Yeah, exactly.
and Spider senses ruined that moment because
Because the whole time they're having this moment, Frank is on a rooftop a kilometer away setting up a fucking 50 caliber rifle. And this is what I
fucking
was talking about
Frank.
earlier when I say that Frank didn't change at all.
Frank's
Because
just
this
being
man
Frank.
was fully prepared to slime a teenage girl with a 50 caliber rifle.
Hmm. And he takes
And
that
so,
fucking shot.
yeah, he does. He does. He takes that shot. If that had hit her,
Oh,
there
dude, she'd
wouldn't
have
be a chain of it. She
exploded.
would
She'd
have
exploded.
evaporated. Like,
She just disappears like fucking Professor Xavier in X3.
exactly, yeah. That's exactly what she would have looked like. She would have had a self-contained blip.
It was crazy, but he shoots at her,
Yeah.
and spider
And the
senses
way
kick in.
yeah, the way that's shown too
Dude, it's
is
so
really
good.
cool.
But Peter ends up getting hit. He takes the bullet for her, which I feel like solidifies it even more. Like, hey, you got me,
Yeah.
and it gets the good scene of
It's
Peter
very
getting,
Ant-Man Way Home.
yeah.
Reminds me a lot of that.
I think it's crazy because the scene that it goes to is Peter getting carried into the hospital by Punisher.
Which is very like the
It's
panel in Civil War.
pulled from it. Like it's pulled from it so well. So it cuts to it. Like we don't know if Peter's gonna live or not. Personally, I thought he was gonna die.
So I was like, oh, he might die until it cut to the scene of Punisher carrying him. Because for me, it's like if he's gonna die, he's gonna die there on the spot. Like he's gonna die in Jean's arms. If he's gonna die, he's not gonna die in a hospital bed. They're not doing that.
See,
That's where I was at.
I think I was waiting for them to kill him off in the hospital bed. Every whole New York morning, Spider-Man's death, him get buried, it lead to Venom pulling up,
Yeah,
and then him coming
coming
out of the
back in
grave,
Secret
like
Wars or whatever.
comics,
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's what I was thought. Like that's what I thought it was leading towards. It does not. He ends up surviving, and he doing this, like he wakes up and he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" And Frank's there, and he's like, "You're good. You're covered. I got you covered." But outside his window is like all of New York pulling up, trying to support Spider-Man, being like, "We love you, Spider-Man. Thank you,
Yeah.
Spider-Man." Like doing
Also,
all this stuff.
yeah, it's not just that he survived. It's that Jean was manually breathing for him. Like she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in
yeah.
his mind, like in his body, breathing for him the whole time to keep him alive.
I forgot about that part too.
Yeah. And it's like as he wakes up, she lets go.
Yeah.
And Frank's like she was using her voodoo shit to keep you alive or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get Frank, teary-eyed Frank apologizing to Peter for blowing his back
Dude.
out.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hold on. Hold on. That's crazy. Peter's okay with it though. Peter's okay with it though. He's like, okay, I accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, damn, you're crying.
Yeah. And it was like, are you crying? Yeah, we get that whole scene.
Which is it's sweet. It's funny.
It is. It's really good. And it's another one of those things where people complain about Punisher crying. It's like, for one, John Bernthal Punisher has cried in everything he's been in. Like every time you've seen this man,
Dude,
but
it's a good
also like
scene.
it is. It's a really good scene. And it's just we get to see that little bit of Frank's humanity that he does still have. And
And
I've seen people like positing as like because Frank was a father,
yeah.
like he had a son, and it's like maybe in some way this is the fatherly instinct in him coming out and him seeing Peter not necessarily as a son, but like as maybe Peter reminds him of Frank Jr.
Yeah. I mean, I think too, because like was talked about, Frank was talking about what he became and how it's bad and
Yeah,
where it led him. And then him saying that and like literally later on shooting someone who genuinely cares about Frank and who he's as we later figure out like here and stuff. I think literally in the scene sees as a friend, literally cares
yeah,
about and has
yeah.
respect
He
for and
yeah, he
love.
says,
Like, dude,
yeah, nice kid, never had a friend like that. Yeah, no, it was,
like
and
it
that's the
makes
kind
so
of
much more
thing.
sense.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you'd never see with Matt because him and Matt are so like Peter's willing to sit and listen to Frank in a way that Matt, right? And like Matt has listened to him, like that wonderful, phenomenal scene in Daredevil season 2 in the graveyard.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that's still wow. But again, Matt's an asshole.
He is kind of an ass every now and
and
then.
and Peter isn't. Like Peter Frank doesn't have anything to he can't push against Peter like he can with Matt.
Yeah,
And we get to really see the side of Frank that was a family man.
yeah.
And I really love that. And he does Peter a huge favor.
He might have shot him,
Yeah,
but he ends up getting Peter out of the hospital without people
yeah.
knowing he's Spider-Man
Oh
because
man.
he
Peter, yeah.
Punisher becomes the next Spider-Man. He dons the mask. He literally, yeah, that's literally he's in the window. Everybody's like, look, it's Spider-Man. And then it's literally fucking Punisher going, and then it cuts to him like behind, and it's him going,
Yeah.
ooh.
Frank has like the mask and the gloves on
And-
because like
and-
so he tells Peter that like they had to cut his suit open to get Peter out to operate him on him. And so as Peter is walking out of the hospital, like he has to leave in civilian clothes. Peter's walking out of the hospital, and then people start cheering like it's Spider-Man. And then they look up at the window and it's Frank in the mask. just like yeah, like and waving like Forrest
Soup.
Gump waving.
He's being the best Peter he can be.
He's being as
And he's
friendly
doing
as he possibly.
great. He's doing great. And there's a weird part in it because so during this, so Peter walks into the crowd. Everybody's cheering for Spider-Man. You know, he's giving his little smirk and being a little happy.
Yeah,
But there's this
it's so
kid.
nice.
There's this kid that stares at him and is like, you know, like being and like Peter's like, he's like does it back. And like the kid looks back and I was like, yeah, Spider-Man. And it's like, it does one of those things where it's like, does this kid know that this is Peter, like Peter Parker is fucking Spider-Man? Or is he just seeing this sad dude in this crowd and like seeing, you know, and like just trying to make this kid, like dude happy by being like, you know what I mean? It's a weird,
Yeah,
thing with that. And I was, huh.
I think it's more the second thing, if anything. But
Yeah,
really, I
me
think
too.
it's just a kid. Because
Being a kid.
I have toddlers, right?
Mm.
And literally, these kids will just randomly go to strangers. They do it all the time. It happens every time they're in public.
At
like
least they're not flipping
so,
him off or anything, you know?
right? So it's like for me, it was like, oh, this is just a kid being a kid, and he
Yeah.
happens to be doing it to Spider-Man. And that
I,
like the smile that Peter gives when he does it back, it's like that hits me where I live.
it's such a nice scene. Such a whole like a good way to like
Especially yeah, especially
close
coming
off.
from where he came from in No Way Home. I thought he was a murderer and hated him,
Oh, dude,
you
yeah.
know? So
I
it's just really nice. And then we get the scene of him like and we get the scene of him that I mentioned earlier. This one shot of him where he's laying on the building or whatever with the coffee cup. And then he sits up and there's the sunset or rise or whatever it is
yeah.
of just him from the back and it's kind of silhouetted in the city with the sunset. That is the best. That is the best shot for me. I love that so much, so much. It's so good.
So we draw to the end with
We do.
that. And I think doing this, we get to like the final like okay, the movie's over kind of bits. And it shows MJ on the usual roof where like her and Peter and them
Yeah,
used to
the
hang
roof of
out.
mid. It was Midtown High. The
That's
roof of
yeah.
Midtown.
She's on that roof with the necklace that Peter gave her.
The black belly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't say it's from my own words because I've seen stuff on it, but like people of Pete like are theorizing that Jean Grey might have given her some memories of Peter
Whether
because
intentionally or not.
yeah. So people are thinking that because like um the I don't remember which X-Men movie it was where it's like the first class ones, but it's like Phoenix and them escaping from
Yeah.
eh,
In Apocalypse. Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is. Because she ends up like they run into Wolverine and she ends up giving Wolverine some of his memories back that she can give him.
Yeah.
You know, like she can only do so much. So people are like, you know, what if Jean Grey just did this? Like, what if Jean Grey
Yeah.
gave MJ some memories
Yeah.
that she
Possible.
could give?
So like so that I've seen that and I've also seen where it's like when she like froze everybody, right? MJ and Ned were a part of that.
Yeah.
We cut to them. They're in the apartment, and freaking out. So we mentioned earlier when she had a hold of Bruce, how Bruce says, I think she broke something, like
Yeah.
broke a barrier in his head. I've seen people theorizing that happened, where when she was in their heads, everybody's heads, but when she froze everybody, because that's what that was. She was in everybody's heads. Like she had everybody's mind control.
Yeah.
That she broke whatever, like cracked at least whatever barrier was there, because it like they don't remember him immediately, so it's not
Yeah.
like shattered, because then everybody would.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like maybe that barrier got cracked, and then it just takes a little, like a hammer to it.
Yeah.
Um, but we don't know. So MJ is sitting on top of. She's sitting in the spot where they would go to hang out, where we see Ned and him and MJ in No Way Home talking about like living together when they go to college.
Yeah.
That's where the conversation with the other two Peters happened after. Same spot. So and she's holding the Black Dahlia neck that he got her in Far From Home in Venice.
So it's very open to what it could possibly be and lead up to, and so
Yeah,
it's very
it's
interesting.
very vague. Yeah.
And the next big one, I don't really think there's too much to it. Personally, is Jean Grey leaving?
She's on a bus headed upstate New York.
That's
You know what's
like
upstate?
Washington.
You know what? You know what's in upstate New York?
What's that?
Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Whoa.
Whoa. So,
Who knows? Maybe, probably.
maybe.
But I mean, shoot, that's her. That's her
Yep.
ending in this movie.
So
and then Peter Parker.
The very next scene, and this one got me so hard. It didn't get me hard. It got me.
It got me so hard.
It hit
I
me.
watched it twice, by the way.
It hit me so hard. Right here.
He's pointing at his heart for people that are just listening.
Yeah. We see Peter. He's walking down the street. He's in the shop that he always gets his flowers from, right?
Mhm.
He's on the phone with Captain DeWolf. And earlier in the movie, they're on the phone, and DeWolf is like, I don't know you from Adam. You don't even know my kids' names. And he's like, oh, it's like Pappy or whatever. It's just like a pet name. And then like he's talking to DeWolf, and there's like a bank robbery, and he's like, oh, I can come and help with that. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. We got it. This is our job. We can do it. And he's like, okay, which is like a huge switch up, because for the whole movie he's been all Spider-Man all the time. Peter Parker doesn't exist. And then but for him to turn that down, to not go for that, was a big deal. And so he's like, all right, tell whatever her son's name is, bye for me.
Whatever the two kids' names are.
Yeah. And so he walks into the shop where he gets the flowers, and he goes and gets the flowers, and he's walking up to the counter, and he sees Ned sitting at a table in that little shop.
Mm.
And he's walking up to the counter, and as he's walking up to the counter, he stops. And when he stops, the same song that plays at the end of No Way Home, when he walks into his apartment and he does the final swing in the snow in the red and blue suit.
Yep.
The same musical cue that plays in that scene starts playing. And he turns around and he walks over to the table and he says hi to Ned. And Ned's like, oh, hi. Oh, hey, you're the flower guy from the party. Or he's like, yeah, my name's Peter. And he shakes his hand. And then the regular handshake turns into the first step to their handshake that they've been doing since homecoming. And then they just go into it seamlessly. Both of them, they're doing it. It's like muscle memory kicking in, riding them. And then they stop and they're pointing at each other. And Peter's like watching Ned's face, like just like with trepidation. And Ned's like, Peter. And then there's like this look of like recognition. Peter. And then the last shot. And the last shot is Peter smiling. And then black. And then there's just a montage of shots of New York City.
Yeah.
To Oh Yeah by I can't that song. I can't remember the name of it now. Or the name of the artist. And it's just shots of New York, and then it ends on Spider-Man brand new. God, it's so good. It's so good. And it's like, you know, there's speculation, of course, the same thing with MJ, with Ned, where it's like, you know, because earlier when Peter realizes that Metzger lied to him and he's going to leave, MJ says, "Be careful, Peter." And Ned's like, Spider-Man's name is Peter? So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, maybe he's remembering that. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Peter, this guy, he's Spider-Man. But then, like, there was too much recognition. I don't know.
I'm thinking more it's like it's kind of engraved into his mind.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Yeah. I don't think he remembers everything. I think it's like that shook something loose, though. You know?
Well, I feel like he already knew, because I think he even said it. I think Ned even said it to where he's like, Spider-Man has some kind of connection to us, because like,
Yeah. He's like, he's from Queens. We know that.
yeah,
And the two prime suspects are their teacher and Flash Thompson.
dude, and it's like he's got some stuff, you know, still kind of there, and like he knows Spider-Man somewhat knows them and all that way, shape and form, and so like there's something going on, and then like it's so supposedly Tom Holland said that scene, that the very last thing, like Peter Parker smiling, is the brand new day. That is the brand new day.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
he
also said that one person does remember who Peter Parker is, but they haven't clarified who that would be. Like, some people are like, oh, it's going to be Hulk. But now they're like, oh, it's Ned. But
I'm kind of in the more lenient side of Hulk, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it makes
maybe
a little bit more
Peter
sense.
remembering himself.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that one too. That's deep. That's deep. Nah, it's like, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with them because it seems like he's gonna be in Doomsday.
Or at least Secret Wars. If not
Yeah.
Doomsday, he's definitely in Secret Wars.
Because, hey guys, by the way, there's a post-credit scene. Wow.
Spider-Man in space.
Dude, basically it's literally just Spider-Man floating in space, and that's it.
Yeah. So what it is, yeah, it's the tracker app thing or whatever, and it's like
The spider
Spider-Man
tracker.
location unknown, and then it zooms out of past the moon and it's in space. New location found. But there's a little bit of glitching to it. So it's like maybe it's Spider-Verse hinting. Because it's Sony, like they can still do that. Sony.
Yeah. It's very weird. I had a lot of people in my theater very butthurt about that because they were like, "We waited this long and freaking this is all they gave us?" And I was like, dude, why didn't y'all just leave then? Like, who gives a shit? Like, if you
I
want to
wanted to know why Thor was crying.
yeah. Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I was thinking about it and I was like, I think it's funny because like people that are like that, it just makes me think of Deadpool because if you wait all the way through Deadpool's credits, it's him literally being like, "Why are you still here? Go home."
Yeah.
Like, what is
The
y'all
first
thing, bro?
Spider-Man Homecoming, it's the Captain America. It's like
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, what are we talking about here, dude? Like, if y'all really care that much, then just leave. Watch it later if you want to.
yeah, look it up on YouTube. It's there.
Why are you
Like,
complaining about it, bro? If you don't like it, like, I don't know. It was just funny to me. I was like, oh shit, like this opens up a lot of things. Like, this is pretty cool.
yeah,
Like, it kind of sucks because it's not more straightforward, and especially because it says Spider-Man will return.
yeah.
But that's it. It doesn't say like Spider-Man will return in like we're not gonna close that gap off, you
You
know?
know, it's funny though. The first time we saw Spider-Man in Civil War, at the end in the credits, because he had the where he has the web shooter, and then the like spider signal thing hits the
Yeah,
ceiling, and then it's like Spider-Man will return. I thought that was a cool roundabout moment because
you know what I'm
Spider-Man did
saying?
return a lot.
Spider-Man did return. Yeah, he's been in a couple of movies.
he is he is part of a pretty exclusive club of having uh 4 movies in the same like franchise. Like those Thor, there's Captain America, technically
Uh,
Avengers because there was Endgame and Endgame. There was 4 Avengers movies, about to be 5, and Spider Man.
yeah,
So Spider Man got 4 solo movies, plus being in Civil War.
yeah, all of them. Um, but I mean, shoot, that's the end of the movie. Um, in
Damn
terms
good
of
movie.
rating, I feel like I could say it's a solid 8 now. Like fully
Yeah,
thinking about it and diving into it more and like just like really
yeah.
rethinking
I
it
was
deeply.
I was gonna say, like, as we've been talking, like you've sounded a lot higher on it than you initially like.
I feel like my biggest things is I kind of hate that Jean Grey is like the main antagonist the entire movie because like I kind of wanted more from
Yeah, I get that.
that because like maybe not even like specifically just Spider-Man villains, but like more villains because
Yeah,
Jean Grey isn't a bad guy or girl, she's not a villain
yeah.
technically, like
She does some pretty villainous shit in this movie,
yeah,
though.
she does a lot of fucking shit that's
Yeah.
like, holy, like,
To
why'd you, bro,
to be
chill.
clear, nothing nearly as bad as she's done in the comics before.
Yeah, that is
let's,
true. That is
let's keep
very,
it.
very
It's
true.
like Gray is not just her last name; it's also her moral moral status. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. And so, like, I don't know. I feel like that was like the biggest thing for me. And because, like, in terms, like I said, in terms of story, it wasn't my most up there story. In terms
yeah,
of like everything else, it was pretty beautiful and like amazing.
yeah. Like I don't think it's the tightest story. I don't think it's the tightest story wise, even of the Tom Holland films. I still think the tightest plot is Homecoming. But
Yeah.
also I think that's just because that had the least. It was the most straightforward, just
Yeah.
um, and it doesn't really hold a candle to the first 2 Spider-Man movies plot wise in terms of like being tight and cohesive,
Yeah.
but in terms of effectiveness and what it was trying to do and to say, I feel like it is one of the most effective. Like I genuinely think that what it's trying to say, it is up there with Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
Like
yeah, most definitely.
And I am a lot higher on the story for like No Way Home for like that movie has a lot going on. There's a lot happening in No Way Home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters to juggle. But like the core message of it, I think shines through very clearly. And I would say the same about Brand. And I think Brand New Day is, for me, it is my favorite live action Spider-Man. It falls behind the Spider-Verse movies, but like those are almost in a league all their in terms of live action. I think this is it. This is quintessential Spider-Man. Like it's taken everything before, everything going all the way back to Spider-Man 1 with Toby, and just used all of that as building blocks to get to this point. Like Tom's Peter Parker, Tom's Spider-Man has at this point gotten everything that every previous Spider-Man has, and really has been able to build off of the Marvel Universe at large to become the most complete version of the character that we have seen on screen. And I just think that that's really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, this movie is fantastic. No matter what, it's really,
Amazing.
really good. It is up there for Spider-Man movies, no
Spectacular.
matter what.
Superior.
It's amazing. It's Friendly Neighborhood, I swear. All I'm saying is you guys need to go watch it if you haven't already. It is super fucking good. It is one of the best in terms of live action. I'm kind of up there with, I think I prefer Into the Spider-Verse. Or wait, yeah. Into the Spider-Verse. The first one. I like the first Spider-Verse movie more than the second one. I don't really care for the second one. That's a different story. That's a different story. And so, but like, I think it's up there. I think Brand New Day puts everything really, really good, and I'm super excited to watch it again and see honestly where it leads to. I want to see where it goes, and that's like
Yeah.
the worst but best part about Spider-Man movies is because a lot of them are so good, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what comes next? And you have to wait.
Yeah. It's been that way. Like every time, that's something I can say honestly about every time Tom Holland has shown up as Spider-Man. It's like in Civil War, I couldn't wait to see him come back in his
Hmm.
own movie. And then Homecoming, I was like, I can't wait to see him in Infinity War. And then Infinity War, he fucking dies. And it's
And then it's like, oh, okay.
like I can't I can't wait to see what happens next, and hopefully he's not dead anymore. And then, Far From Home, at the end, his identity is revealed. It's like, holy shit. I can't wait to see, how that gets resolved. And then obviously No Way that like Brand New Day has been my most anticipated Marvel movie since 2021, since Spider-Man No Way Home, because I wanted to see so badly
Hmm.
what they did with a Peter Parker, this Peter Parker specifically, that has a fresh start, that
Yeah.
has to start over from scratch essentially by himself. And we got that. And now I want to see him. I can't wait to see what happens again. I want to see him in Doomsday. I don't know if we will, but we're definitely seeing him in Secret Wars. I want to see him in Secret Wars. I want to see what, how, I mean, I want to see how everything comes out the other end of Secret Wars, but I especially want to see how he comes out the other end of Wars, because he has become like, he is the most fleshed out and evolved character in the MCU at this point, because
Yeah.
we don't have Tony anymore. Before that, it was him. And then the only other one who I think even comes close to the level of growth and uh, just evolving as a character that we've got is Loki. I don't know if you've watched the Loki series. It's one of the best things Marvel has
Oh,
ever
Loki's
made.
amazing.
Loki is so good. So it's like You know, I mean, also fucking Spider-Man. Like,
I I think the only question that I wish was answered in this movie, and maybe they're just slowly building up to it and doing stuff.
mhm,
Venom, the Venom
yeah,
symbiote. That's the
yeah,
symbiote being non-existent and not really having any ties, because that was the end credits of
No
No
Way
Way
Home,
Home, and
and
it's
of Venom 2.
yeah, it's like I know there's a couple of times where they've done stuff where it's like they do something in the post credits and they're like, never mind, and it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
But it's like I feel like that's a pretty
that's a
big
big thing.
one
Yeah, that's a big one.
in terms of at least Spider-Man, to where it's like, where are we going with this? What are we
Yeah,
gonna be doing?
I Secret Wars.
Yeah,
That's
that's all I'm
because like
hoping for.
so like in the original Secret Wars from the 80s, that's where the black suit came from
Yeah,
originally. So I mean, this one will probably be like it'll be mostly the 2015 Secret Wars with like Battle World and Doom and stuff. But I'm sure that there will be some stuff from the original as well.
yeah.
So
I'm just
it'll
really
probably
hoping it goes good.
yeah. Fingers crossed. Did you have anything else? It is 5 here.
Yeah, it's almost 3 a.m. here. um, I'm good. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I've yapped to my fullest, I think. Not really. I could definitely go
I
on.
could definitely. I think we could definitely go on longer, but to stay on topic and
Yeah,
not go too far off and all that other stuff. Plus,
yeah,
I know people want to hear about the movie and not
yeah.
our nerdiness.
Okay, well, to close out real quick, where on your ranking of Spider-Man movies do you have this one, do you think?
In terms
Including
of,
Spider-Verse ones.
so I think Spider-Man 2 is it's just got a good grasp on me.
Yeah.
And maybe if I just watched it again, both Brand New Day and Spider-Man 2, that could honestly change. Like if I just watch them like side by side, that could
Right.
honestly change. But like Spider-Man 2 is honestly probably still my number one.
Yeah. I can't be mad at that.
Um,
It's Spider-Man 2. I mean,
I really enjoy the first Into the Spider-Verse. That one's always a lot of fun and it's very
yeah.
interesting, and I feel like they did a lot of things right. They had a
That
lot of
one's
things
still
going
my
for it.
yeah. That one's still my number 1.
And so honestly thinking about it, in just terms of Spider-Man movies, I'd say it's probably third because like
So what? Spider-Man 2 into the Spider-Verse Brand
and
New
then
Day?
Brand New Day. Honestly, I think so. Like really thinking about it because like No Way Home, I feel like is fun and interesting, but it also has so many things that I wish they would have fixed and put it better. Where I feel like it could have gone better. I like Spider-Man 1, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1 a lot. Um, The Amazing Spider-Man, I've never like I was never a crazy, crazy big fan of some of the stuff they did for The Amazing Spider-Man. Like they did a lot of good things,
Yeah.
and especially with Andrew Garfield. But there's just like out of all of them, I feel like there was so much missed potential in those
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
and so
No, they were especially that second one. There was so much good in them, but everything around that was like either
exactly,
a complete miss or just kind of
exactly, and that's why I was kind of like, and so I think at the end of the day, I put Brand New Day probably in my third. And maybe, like I said, maybe I just whenever Brand New Day finally comes out on streaming, I need to just watch all of them and just be like, "Oh shit. Okay, this is really it."
So that's what I did leading up to Brand New Day. I didn't watch all Spider-Man movies, all of the MCU movies Tom Holland Spider-Man is in, starting with Civil War all the way up, and then I watched No Way Home literally the night before I watched Brand New Day, so it was all fresh.
So that would have probably been smarter, to be honest with you.
But you know what's crazy?
Hmm.
It is also my number.
It's your number 3.
It's behind Into the Spider-Verse at number 1, Spider-Verse at number 2, and then Brand New Day.
See, I didn't really care for the second Into the Spider-Verse. But like I said, that's a different story.
Yeah,
We'll go on for another
different
like
conversation.
a whole another 2 or 3
Yeah.
hours on that one.
And I will say, a lot of what carries across the Spider-Verse for me is goodwill from Into the Spider-Verse and then potential of Beyond the Spider-Verse. And
Yeah, that makes
it stands on its own merit as well, but I feel like how Beyond picks that up will have a big impact on where Across sits after the fact.
Yeah. I kind of get that. I also
Yeah.
kind of push them out to their own realm just because they are animated, and animated movies,
Yeah.
they have a little bit more free range and can do a little bit
I
more
do often separate them in my head, but if we're talking about just all of the
overall.
Spider-Man movies, and a lot of the time I like to include all the too, like the Venom and Craven and Morbius and all that,
Yeah.
just so I can have them at the very bottom. Although I will say the gap between like the first 2 Venoms, especially like the third Venom's fun, but it's really stupid. But the first 2 Venoms, the gap between those and then like Venom 3, Morbius, Craven, and Madam Web, like astronomical. Because I really like the first 2 Venom movies, especially that first one. I
The
genuinely think
first
that
one's really fun. The second one I didn't really care for. I feel like that was also missed potential.
I did, yeah, it definitely was. It's not as good as but it's still fun. It's so 90s Venom. Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
many 90s Venom comics you've read. I've read a lot, and it's that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad. I feel like we worked your rating up a little bit over the
I
course of
said
this.
I said a 5, and I feel like originally I was thinking Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, and honestly probably Spider-Man 1.
And then Brand New Day.
Yeah, because Brand New Day would have been my 5th. So it bumped
Yeah,
up 2 ratings.
that's pretty crazy, actually.
And
I'm
so
feeling accomplished.
are you? Well, because like I think the thing is I truly thought about the other movies too and what they really did that I
Right.
enjoyed. And
Yeah.
so like I don't know, maybe I'll do like a whole list of my movies. So once I rewatch it. Maybe that's what I'll do here soon.
Yeah.
Let's just rewatch them all.
So my like it actually, and it did go up. I mentioned it earlier. My rating after the second, because the first time around it was I had No Way Home still above Brand New Day, just because that movie means a lot to me. And it's No Way Home. There's a lot of really good stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
But like the more I thought about it over the next couple of days, like Brand New Day was right here, No Way Home right here. It's just slowly, got closer and closer. And then I saw it the second time. Okay. It's just that good. But
Well,
man.
I'll let you do the closing statements. I gave you the reins for this one, so
Well, that was our how long have we been going now?
3 hours and 15 minutes almost.
Longer than the movie.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Our longer than the movie podcast.
Bro, you were talking about when we were discussing this yesterday. You're like, yeah, we could probably get it done in an hour. There's not that much to talk about.
Look. We went through
Bro
every
underestimated.
scene, okay? But
Bro
it's so good.
underestimated my
It's so
capacity to
good.
yap.
It's so good.
um, but yeah, this was our 3-hour discussion on Spider-Man Brand New Day. I hope we if you haven't seen it already, which if you haven't, why the fuck are you here right now?
It's
If you
true.
haven't already seen it, I hope we convinced you to do so. And if you have, I hope you enjoyed listening to us talk nonsense about it for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah, dude.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
So that's all it
Um,
really is, just having fun. So,
yeah,
so I mean, if you guys want to give us feedback on what you
yeah,
guys
absolutely.
think,
Look,
tell us,
I'm
bro.
built for this kind of content. All right. If you ever get a bug in your yap, I'm your man. I could be a professional.
That's too easy. I got you. I got you. And so,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, we should do this. We should do this again soon about something.
something interesting.
Something, yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. Hope you guys had fun. As much fun as we had.
Subscribe to both
Hope
the
to see you.
channels.
Yeah, yeah. Both are but the Childlike Man on YouTube and Twitch. And then Reign of Cows on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, bye, guys.
Yep. Come back, say hi.